Sticks is called my workout routine. That's what it is.
So true. So
You need to
true.
up that weight, my guy.
Dude, I'm trying, bro.
You need to get
It needs to be at least 3 sticks.
Nice. So, Matt, is it true?
What's up?
You guys don't have dental insurance in the UK?
You don't need dental insurance. We don't need medical insurance.
Yeah. They have wood
wow.
teeth. They work just as well.
Yeah. No, they're made out of cork.
There you go.
But if you get these special ones, they're made out of walrus teeth.
Yeah. They also offer razor blade ones. Those are worth the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, but those are for like the scummy areas, and typically you
Oh,
don't
just
have to.
thinking-
Yeah, those are
I'm just thinking
dentists.
of that American guy with the sharp teeth.
Yeah, that's the
My
most
main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
No wonder my nuts hurt.
When you boot up this
Oh,
game, your nuts gonna start
it's-
quaking, buddy.
I
Jesus
fucking love
Christ.
Sam Hyde so much.
Dude, he needs to come back and
National
drop a crazy
treasure.
like fucking controversial topic. He just needs to drop one now.
Brother, there's nothing more he can do. All he can do
Yes,
is do
there
what he's
is.
doing right now, which is he's about to drop MDE 2.
Fish Tank season 2, man. Come on.
Tank season 3, you mean?
Fish tank. Fish tank.
When does season 2 drop?
Ages ago, brother. You ain't
Was
paying
it any
attention.
good?
There's been 3 seasons. No.
Oh, you mean we're waiting for season 4? We're waiting for now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
None of them have been good except for one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's tragic, bro.
All right, lads, join the watch together now. I command thee. I command you.
Oh my gosh.
Commanding.
Scream, I'm a nut.
You're the one to wake up tomorrow.
I command the deal.
I command
Balls in your court now, asshole.
Mm-mm-mm.
X out of you. X out of you. Don't need you. And tonight's session.
Bless you.
Bless you.
A
You to chill.
Never stole my blood.
Bless you.
Yes,
you.
One was enough.
I got one more.
You didn't need to sneeze that
You
loudly.
sneeze so hard. Cat heard it from Brazil.
Violence.
How am I gonna get the spirits out if I don't sneeze loud?
He's a certain dominance.
You chose to sneeze that loud.
If you
It's
don't
a dad
sneeze loud, the
sneeze.
spirits don't leave.
True.
No, I agree with that.
The spirits
Kenny swims
don't leave.
approaches.
You guys not loud sneezers?
I'd sometimes jokingly do it. Yeah.
Yo, any of you
You're embarrassed about their sneezes. I'm owning it.
ever watched the movie The Ministry of Ungentle Warfare? This is my side note into us. I ain't gonna lie, that movie, the opening scene,
movie's great.
I ain't gonna lie, the opening scene, they were pretty gay, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Them posing as Swedes,
There were a
That-
bunch of guys on a boat. Of
Boat.
course they were.
and they have a fucking Swedish flag during the like what, the War II? Nah, this is a pretty gay fucking
Is that
opening.
The, one where the guy who plays fucking
It's Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill and a bunch of other like pretty cool
And Reacher,
actors. Reacher, yeah.
Reacher, that's what I was thinking of.
who used to
Reacher,
play
yeah.
as Aquaman back in the Smallville
We
TV
don't-
show.
We don't talk about that.
Wow.
That show was great. Fuck you.
All right,
I just know him as Reacher. He'll stay as Reacher.
all right, gentlemen. Let's get this show right in the all right, yeah. I hope everyone's week has been fine. My week has been interesting, to say the least. A couple ups, couple downs, but hey, guess what, lads? All I'm gonna say is I'm thinking of world domination.
He's getting his masters.
I'm thinking of world domination, and I'll leave it like that. Anyways, who would like to give the recap of last session's events? Last session was kind of short, and yeah, but
Bro, who is this guy? Napoleon?
This man.
what happened?
I thought Potato does it this time.
I'm literally munching on my food. The one time you tell me to do it, I'm munching on something.
It's okay. It's okay,
let me eat a
potato. You
piece.
can keep eating.
I'm
It's
mad.
okay.
Let me
It's
eat.
okay. Shh.
That sweet child.
You leave this child alone, Nick.
Okay, all right, bud. I vote you do it this time.
I'll do it.
All right.
Last session, we talked to the Vestal.
That was part of it. Yep.
And
We found out she was like
GG.
borderline like high school goth girl. Like, it's not a phase, mom.
Classic
It's my
early
life.
2016 girl.
Yeah, yeah.
At first,
She's
she
like-
was like, I was like, oh, she's pretty wise. And then it was like, oh, she's 16. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm actually 16. But she has definitely lived more than one life. That's for sure. Like without a
Semester
doubt.
life shit she's
She's
on.
just, she's just perpetually 16.
Um, I'm having a brain fart. What happened before that? So we're chilling. We ended up going to the freaking. Oh my gosh, I remember now. We were in the Fort of Knights, and it was like we went to the castle to speak with the freaking dude in charge, and so apparently
Gotcha.
ducks are a thing. Ducks, just ducks. And what was his name? Lord
Jerome.
Waxworth.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Jerome's the guy that told us about the ducks.
Jerome's the guy that told us about the ducks. Apparently, Jester was seeing ducks, and then Alan from Smiling Friends showed up, and he was like, "Who are you entering my castle?" And
Aldous, as he is also known.
we were like, "Hey man, we're trying to speak with who's in charge." And there was this other guy, the dude, who's like, "Hey man, yeah, I run this place. What's up, dude?" And we're like, "Hey, so we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna do some main quest shit." And he's like, "That's what they all say." Yeah. And then it devolved where we gave him our weapons to give him some supplies. And he was like, "Hey, if you need, you, Mr. Priestman, if you need vials to use your magic, drink this. Drink these drugs. Take them. The vessel's got them." I was like, "Oh, okay, sure. I guess." And then after that got done, we freaking yeah. Then it was a special little side bit where Carter, Kaldar, and the Uriel went to the church where the festival was at. We had the talk and really like mystic, like main story type shit with everybody. And then yeah, after that we were gonna head over to the apothecary to get some potions and incantation. That's all I remember. That's all I remember, guys.
Yeah,
Like-
that.
Would anyone like to add anything? Alrighty then. But but before that, I am going to pick up as kind of like where we ended last session with a couple of the lads deciding to go a little longer, and some of us had to return for early siesta. Before some of us had to go to bed, I wanted to ensure that all of us had the opportunity to talk to the Vestal. So, for one reason or the other, I did say last session towards the closing that some individuals would be attending to all manner of business, whether it be just resting since you guys have arrived in Renus as well, or simply just walking around meeting the people. Whatever reason, I will say that for the time being, Jester as well as Aurelius, you'd be walking into the Abbey around this time, and to describe it, it is this sort of aged but opulent building. You would see that it is dimly lit and lining the center sides of the walls, lining much of the ancient stonework itself. You would see these strange crystals that contain the luminance of the moon, and they are lining all of it to eventually the back wall, where you see a large mural depicting the goddess of the moon in her full moon variation. Though she has multiple states, you would see that she is this dancing damsel. You would see that she is somewhat delicately pirouetting and somersaulting around clouds, and there is only her reflection. And you would see an abundance of these crystals has been placed and wedged within the mural itself. Aside from that, there is one centrally large chandelier that seems to be providing the majority of the vision. And at this point, you would see that arguably Bishop or Kaldar is in a look of heavy contemplation. You would see that he has his helmet removed, and he is probably sitting perhaps on a front of one of the few benches on the front. I will say Uriel himself, he seems somewhat impartial. I would like to think that majority of what the information that he received as for last session towards the closing part gave him some ideas, but I don't think he would visibly be shaken or taken aback from it. Yeah. But yeah. I just figured, and Carter's been here. Carter.
That's a good way to put it.
But yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure if any of you wanted to talk to the Vestal and to give her description more adequately of a description, or what the fuck did I just say? To make it more present, you would see it is this smaller woman. She has this short, cropped, straight blonde hair, piercing brown eyes, this somewhat rugged golden skin. She is not that tall. She has this slim but athletic build. She has this sharp face, and you would notice that currently she has what appears to be a jagged depiction of a halo above her head, and her eyes, though they are brown, you would see that as time progresses they sort of flicker, and it's going to the silvery moon coloration. And by base this alone, and you would see the sprouting of a few ethereal rings or wings behind her back, you get the idea that this person is a Azamar, and she's currently been having a conversation with you lot.
Alright, shit, I guess I'll go first then. I'm gonna walk straight towards her.
Yeah.
And as you approach, she would stop and look towards you. Another one. I assume it's no coincidence that he's a member of your group? Looking over to mainly Bishop, but also as well as to you, Uriel. Another one.
Shit, Kaldar looks over and gives a nod. Yes, yes.
Hello.
Shoots a look at Uriel, then faces forward again.
Howdy,
Nice to meet you.
howdy. It's likewise, but before I say anything, I don't mean to be strange. What gives with that? And you would see she points immediately towards your chest.
Oh, that is a hole in my chest that I have found that I have had since I've come to this world. World land.
She stares idly, but blinks at you nonetheless, just sort of like, huh? Right. She looks around looking at Partisan and looks at Uriel. You do realize what he's referring to? Never mind that. Come over here. I'm Janet. Nice to meet you.
I'm Ulrus. I don't have a last name.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Alris. I don't have a last name. Yeah, how'd you get that? If I'm gonna be blunt, you know, I'm sorry my attitude's a little off. I just spoke and, well, I helped your friend over there contemplate his existence, but I'm only 16, you know. So I'm a little tired. You know, I'm a little cranky.
You
But
look old to me.
oh. Oh.
That's a good thing where I come from.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Yeah, I figured. You know, the more I look at you, you have like dark hair, dark features. You're not really from any place full of light, are you? No place warm, but or at least I'd assume.
There's campfires. There's warm.
And you said you're not from this world? I'm assuming that's has a little more connotation. Yeah, regardless, what do you want? What do you want? If it's not painfully clear, I'm kind of not in the mood for to do much. But that hole in your chest is concerning.
Oh well, a random a guard I met, a very nice guy. Talked to him a bit. He said that you could help me about like asking about things. Specifically, I wanted to ask about the hole that you mentioned before, like 2 seconds ago, which is a very crazy coincidence, I must say. Very interesting quinky dink that was spoken about. I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if it's not very obvious, she points to her wings. They sort of flutter. You would see she points to her halo, barely floating a jar from her head. I mean, I'm sort of aware of divine things, you know? I mean, that's, I believe, my whole life's purpose, and what you're showing me is you've been stricken with the grace of gold. A god has left their mark on you. A hole, a void, a lock needing to be opened. But yeah,
You don't know a lot of gods.
yeah, I figured you, and you don't seem to have the. Well, you don't sound like the guy who really gets out and reads much, do you?
No, I usually use books to smack people over the head instead of read them. I read like 2 sentences before it's like hit against the guy's, noggin.
Ah, so you're more the type to hold up an axe to a guy's throat and tell him what a piece of paper says, and then you'd kill him. But then again, you might forget what's on the parchment. That sort of deal? Make him tell you.
A slight difference. It sounds like the same. I would hold the axe up to the guy's head, and then I would ask him politely before hitting him on the head with the book and the axe at the same time. It's a slight misconception.
Ah, I see. Well, in either case, yeah, you're an oddball for sure. You don't really get out much, do you?
I mean, I'm out right now.
Give me an
I usually
insight.
go, like,
Give me an
inside.
insight check. Give me an insight check.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I hope
My
I
foundry
hope-
crash. I have to reload it.
I
Damn.
hope in the nicest way possible, the vessel slips on a banana peel.
It's awesome.
More of a dog person, huh?
Fuck
I
off,
hope
man.
Elris hits his head and gets smarter.
That'll never happen. Unless there's a headband, good luck.
I'm gonna be honest, Potato. I feel like ever since Beezus games sort of like ended, this has become de facto Drax. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes, I love playing dumb characters now.
Dumb.
But it's
Dumb.
it's the watching Elris get dumber every session.
Every session.
It's so
It's
fucking
it's
funny.
weird seeing.
That's what Gax would do.
It's weird. No, because it's starkly different how you started. It's so different from what you started this character with, and now it's just like,
Crazy way of coming back.
We're
If
going
she's coming back,
somewhere?
she's gonna be dumb as fuck.
just it's just like it's a star. It's like a star difference. That's all I'm saying. Let me know when you get back.
Alright, I'm in. Let me roll. That's Shimizu. It's the wrong sheet. There we go. Insight check.
Dang, Bees, you're betting. Dude,
28.
that's a heavy bet.
While it is painfully obvious that she is making some jab and some insult to your character, behind those words there is a spark of curiosity, and one that she just seems to be barely able to mask over it. You would see the object of your luck. You seem she has a great interest in it, and if anything, she's making a light-hearted gesture to perhaps like get to know you more. It is her attempt, at the very least, you know, to sort of like, you're stupid. Come over here, sort of deal. She's genuinely curious. She's curious about what you bear on your chest, and in fact, she is. If anything, she's waving you down a little bit faster at this point. There's a slight nervousness to her feet and
he will just walk forward, like close. Like he won't say anything, just like approach.
And as you walk forward, you would see her eyes go the silvery moon color, a pure silver, and you would see there is a slight spark of light that engulfs from her hands, and you would see she places a gender touch on your chest. This is gonna maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable, but if I believe what my intuition's guiding me, shouldn't feel nothing more than a little pinch. Hold your breath.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. And the instant she finishes, you feel a slight pain originating at your chest as you would see the light from her hands expands and you would see her hands sink through. You would feel this hole in your chest, a newfound light opening, and to you, Hours, it is almost the hearing of some sort of door in the back of your mind, the lock. Switch open for a moment. If anything, it is this bad burglar, this bad highwayman trying to breach what is normally supposed to be an impenetrable fortress, and her with a little bit of a divine hand slowly trying to open the mechanism to your lock. She is meeting some resistance, and some of that comes back as agony to you. I would like a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah.
+6, cause aura of protection.
If you
Well,
fail it, you lose more brain
That
cells.
close to him, were we?
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's like I remember it because that's why I asked last session. I remember.
Saving throw. 13.
You were able to wince.
I don't know what his aura is. I think it's like +4 to it, right?
Yeah,
+6.
with his aura, you would more than succeed. You would feel the slight wince, the sort of pain bubbling in your chest. The need to breathe slowly vanishes. The pain, almost a pins and needle sensation. It doesn't entirely fade away, but you make your peace with it in time. And with that, you would see she reaches her hand around, and quite honestly, gets dangerously close. You would see at some point she rests her soft cheek onto your chest, feeling around, almost as if this physician looking and treating for any sort of injury, any sort of imperfection. And before long, you would see she reaches her hands out, and she gives you a hand. You can breathe now.
Felt really weird. It felt like a little worm.
Yeah, so I gotta ask, where's your soul?
Hello.
It's a very complicated question. I would like to think it's up there. I'll just point to the roof.
Oh,
Or down. Maybe down. Down further in the ground.
yeah, I don't know how to put this any bluntly, but have you died recently? And like perhaps came back? Because if that's the case, then I'm here to let you know if you didn't know, some of you is missing. A good important part, that is. Your soul, the being, you know, everything that makes you you, everything I would say, dare say, important to an individual, yeah, that's gone.
Do I recall any memory of me dying?
as she says that, Aurus, you get a dangerous vision of you in your last few moments of once treasured ally. In a stalwart act of rebellion, you do remember there was a clash of swords. You deciding to walk a more zealous and more, well, at the very least, a less blood-soaked path. You recall that much. Your vision and your memories is but of a blur, but you do remember receiving an injury. There is a slight burning at your chest, and you'd naturally feel your hand instinctually move over to where the hole is. But you don't quite remember dying, as she says it. You do remember losing consciousness for a point.
Oh, no. Let's go with sort of kind of maybe possible.
Sorta, kinda, maybe possible. Okay. But interesting enough, though, whatever is left, I don't know. You're not quite, dare I say, hollow. I don't know, it's strange. You're being preserved and filled by something else. It's weird. It's malleable. It's something, but at the same time, nothing. It's incorporeal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with you, to be honest. I'm not really that certain. I just know that you might have died. Not everything is as it seems. I mean, do you have any weird, I don't know, cravings, fascinations, thoughts of blood? Because of what I did feel, I saw red at the core. A lot of red. In the absence of... Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I have anything to do with it. Maybe like, what's red? There's apples that are red. There are random shadow worms that are red. Maybe blood. That would be the most likely one, but I don't know why I would see that.
I see. I'm a bit lost. Huh. I have a quick question though.
Yeah, sure.
How well you don't read much, do you?
No.
Then tell me, excuse me for this again, and you can see she sort of reaches into your chest, right? And you would see a light from inside you begin to pour out. And you can see you feel some manner of resistance. You feel something internal being bound and forced out of you. And it's almost as if you hear a slow snapping, something close to an appendage, but somewhat foreign, just slowly protrudes behind your skin. It doesn't bust the layer behind it, but it makes itself known. And you would see she's cradling what appears to be an orb, battled at your chest. Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know anything about a Vault of Anir, would you? Does the name Anir sound anywhat familiar
Did
to you?
someone say Vault of Anir?
Hold on, let me.
I was gonna say, bud.
Hold on, let me check.
Does the writings or teachings of Anir or any of his followers seem vaguely familiar to you?
Hold on, let me check my books. Check my books. They're just random scribbles, right? I'm looking at names and drawings. Like, does Anir look familiar?
Did anybody expect him to have books?
Mud. Did Uriel
Comic books.
tell Kaldar about the vault when they went to go on that quest? like bring him back.
Yeah, because he was really fucking pissed that we gave it up. Remember?
Right. Okay. Yeah. But I distinctly remember that on a nice note, Uriel at least said that it was still nice to have Kaldar back, though. For character, I
Yeah.
remember that because he was like it's not like a thing like we dropped it and the cleric's back. No, he's like, oh,
I never
we
said it
dropped
wasn't worth it. I
The
said
cleric's
that I
back.
don't think we had to give it up.
Right.
You, sorry to cut you off, but to press a little bit forward, you would see what he holds beneath the skin, what appears to be this orb. It is roughly the size of Aurus, your palm. So imagine your fist, and it's strange. It's coming to a knot, and it's slightly lifting the skin to the point where the skin underneath it is drooping down where it ends. It is roughly the size of your fist, and you could feel that its texture now that it's being brought up closer. What was deep inside of you could feel its texturation. It is rough, and it has various engravings on it. But there is one that pierces the veil of your skin, one that creates enough light, and it is marked with the symbol of Anir. You would see a long parted quill and parchment attached to it. And you would just feel, now that it's brought to the surface, a slight sort of familiar drum beat, a slight rhythmic and almost biological familiarity, Aurus.
Oh, that's really cool. I can't believe you made that.
I didn't make that. This was already inside of you. I only asked real talk, I don't know what the fuck you are. All I know is this is something beyond me. I do know that a divine presence was placed. I mean, to be honest with you, I can't take this out of you. And I'm afraid even if I could, what that would mean for you. I mean, I'm only 16. You're a stranger. I don't know what's going on.
I will. Could you put your hand inside my chest?
Yeah, and you can see she just pushes your chest, and she sort of waves her hands to the side. Yeah, nah, I don't think I'm your friend. If anything, we're all right. I mean, gods. No.
In the corners, you could see Kaldar mouthing, "Sorry."
Just like, sorry, you know. Yeah.
She's a kid. She doesn't notice that.
Yeah, she's like a stuck. Yeah, but yeah. Gods above, what are you? I mean, there's clearly some reason in there, some purpose in there. I mean, the only thing I can tell is it's got a timer set to it. Not much more. Well, that makes that even better, doesn't it? No, what I mean is it will open under certain prerequisites. I don't know. It has a celestial writing to it. It's woven and keeping you, or at least for what I can tell.
That sounds very insane. I have much questions to ask.
Yeah, and I hardly know the answers.
It's okay. You gave plenty of answers. You talked about stuff around my chest. You pulled out an orb. Not many people could do that. Not even the magical goat wizard over there could do that. He's very strong.
I don't meddle in religious mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, we do magic. That's close enough.
Different kind.
I wouldn't necessarily call it mumbo jumbo.
Oh my god, when'd you get to that
area as well?
Anywho, I appreciate the help with everything that you did.
Oh, you said you had questions?
What do you mean?
Aren't you gonna ask them before we wrap this up? I mean,
I showed my chest. That was the main question.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, unless you know stuff about like cursed swords or like I mean, that's it. Unless you know like stuff about like the Shadowfell. I don't know if that's something that's in your department of knowing. I mean,
I
you said
don't.
you're only 16, so I don't know if that's expertise of a 16.
Yeah. He kind of just laughs. No, but here's the thing. I only know what the Moon Maiden allows me to know. And I do know that the Shadowfell, whatever what hell you're talking about, it's normally devoid of moonlight. In the very least, there's not really many of her followers there. So, I don't know much other than it's dark. And I know from that, that's probably where you come from. Curses, only the basics, really. I never really got much training in that, but...
Did you know of the Squid Moon curse that's currently happening?
Oh, yeah! Yeah, all that. That's
I
not...
have 2 of those.
Wait, really?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't lie.
Oh. Oh.
I did like 60 prayer push-ups to the Moon Lady. One of the guards said I should just do that to get alleviated. I didn't feel anything afterwards.
How long has it been since you've acquired these curses?
Same, like a 2-week.
Oh, I see. If you're here tomorrow, the moon will be high, and I'll be at my highest potential. If you're around, maybe I can do something then, but for now, 2 weeks. I mean, the longest of the curses I've ever seen lasts from a few weeks to months, but what I felt around, I doubt it's any longer than that.
Okay. Should I come alone, or like, should I bring like everyone?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I already talked to your friend there, Uriel.
Oh.
He himself seems to have the biggest, visual side of a curse, but he seems to make his peace with it. I mean, this might be even sacrilegious, and you can see she, like, covers her ears and just covers her mouth, covers her eyes. But these curses, there's just other creatures, other entities trying to warp the moonlight. Use it to what they seem best, I guess. I mean, it's heresy, but it's nothing different from what I'm doing. Just a different perspective, really.
I am indifferent about it. For I cannot reach the moon.
Yeah, most wouldn't. Yeah, most wouldn't. You can see she stops and looks at the mini pews, turns back to the mural and seeing the moon crystals glow ever brighter. And you would see some of the light just naturally shine in of the few scarce streams of moonlight. They bleed into the abbey, and you would see of some of the light that falls, it firmly plants itself towards the ground. And Jester, you are at the center of it all, as you feel a natural sort of acuity within you. You feel lighter, you feel more tranquil, and you feel as if your own reservoirs of ki are somewhat being lifted. You feel more at peace, you feel calmer, you feel different, to say the least.
Like at this very moment, or like when I like
Well, while you have been in the abbey for a brief bit of time now, you would notice that almost, for you with your keen eyes, you would notice that the moonlight sort of jumps and sparks. It's nonsensical and it doesn't seem to have a pattern, but the longer you've remained, you would notice that from the random jumps between, like imagine like bolts of electricity, like jumping between cables, jump. Every now and then you would know that it just sort of beamed down towards you. You were forming this sort of like Tesla coil, and then up until now that you are the bead of attention for the majority of the beads of light. Majority of these crystals seem to be honed down on you. And with it, there is this now radiance and this other feeling. Thoughts? Concerns?
Questions?
Questions? You know?
So it's like it's continuous, like while I've been in here, right?
Well, in here, yes. And it doesn't seem to cause you too much. Will the party get? I just realized what the fuck. Will the party make it to Rosewood?
No, I'm putting everything on it.
Yo.
I've been every point.
Do you see the options, Zeki?
Yeah,
Yes.
this man can
they got this-
single-handedly just stop this session from getting anywhere near Rosewood with his dumbass fucking
No, I
shit.
roleplayed my thing. It's done.
Swaying the odds.
It is a $70,000 point to $100 point.
Who made this poll? Who fucking?
Who do you think?
Give me the
I was-
points, man.
Why do you think I was so quiet in the very beginning? I was messaging people to to vote.
To vote the freaking.
Dude, if I had known that Potato had voted that we weren't gonna get to fucking Rosewood, I would not have voted that we were gonna get to Rosewood.
But you're asking the expertise of knowing what's gonna happen in the Zarky session. If the game will get delayed, it will.
Just to let you
When
know.
you drop 70k, you 100% were gonna fucking do it. This is
Yeah.
literally good.
My beast told me, like, all right, what do I spend it?
Oh my gosh.
I assume you do nothing for the time being, or what?
Yeah.
What's?
I'm just like I don't care. I like she's like mentioned like she's like very odd. I don't want like
She's so hot.
no like
Honestly.
she just kept telling me like she just kept saying I'm 16. You know like what do
She's
I know?
very adamant.
Yeah, and I'm like I can't tell you whatever.
I'm just a kid, bro. Leave me alone.
I'm just a kid.
Pretty much. Like I'm
Anyway, I appreciate your help with my questions and such. I will see you tomorrow. I guess. Is it morning or night tomorrow? I assume the night because moon.
Oh.
Where there is a new dawn, there will always be dusk. Currently, if you haven't noticed, it's the middle of the night. If I were to guess, roughly 8 o'clock. We're in the late afternoon hours. The moon is darn near going to reach its peak. And you can see she just seems to be looking at you and recalling this as if it's just passive information. She's not even looking, just idly staring at you, just shrugging.
Like sideways head movements. I just turn around.
Like,
Alright, well that was interesting. Where to next?
oh,
Do we have any
well.
prep? Do we have to interrogate a random pig for more information?
My knowledge, we just need supplies and then
No.
Rosewood, right?
We just need supplies. The steward recommended staying for a day. I'm not really sure why.
Dangers.
I mean, do we want to travel on a full moon with Dragula?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. This thing could barely handle a bench, but it did.
It's a horrible idea.
We'll admit it's a bit dangerous, so.
A bit. We can barely handle full moons outside of the Crimson.
Well, it'd be best to stay for another day, then.
But tomorrow is the full moon,
Yes.
according to the
precisely.
calendar.
Yes.
So we're staying
Yes,
another
and
day,
we're,
so we
and
leave
we're
on the
staying
full moon.
tonight, so we're going to have to wait.
So it won't be tomorrow that we go, but the day after.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, we could just go tonight.
No, I
Do
don't.
we have any reason to stay?
I'm too tired. A warrior needs to be prepared. You need rest, you need food, and a good drink. That's why I
Sleep in
luckily
the
had
car?
one more bottle of Shadow Beast wine.
You want to talk about being fed? You left us to go eat.
Yeah. No, I went for a jog. That's different. You have to be physically fit. This is why, as blood brothers, I will start a daily jog, and we'll start doing daily push-ups together.
Oh, oh no, my arm. Oh,
Okay, you definitely have to rest then.
Yeah, I gotta rest. Oh shit.
If I may interject,
You may.
good. Looking at some
Ew,
of
why'd
you,
you say it like that?
Inside that, inside that.
Why'd you say it like that? Ugh. Shut up, kid. What the heck?
A weird kid.
Weird kid, dude. She's literally Sam from Danny
She's
Phantom.
widowy.
Widowy, that's what I thought as well.
Widowy.
if I might interject, your group seems like you suffered the farthest brink of atrocities that this land has to offer. And when it comes down to it, I don't think you really have the, I think a day's rest would do you well, but I don't think you really have the mental capacity to move forward. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can go out on a full moon. Yes, you might have some form of transportation that might protect you from the moon's rays. But for some of you might feel those effects more innately than others. And she would give a stalwart look towards you, Uriel, before looking towards us as a group. And besides, I don't know why you're rushing to, Rosewood? That place is criming with creatures that would just get you cursed another way. At the very least, I could work out something that might help you or remedy some of the stuff that you might deal with there.
Oh, is that the case?
I mean, yeah. You're not the first people who came here. It's always just different faces, different goals, different agendas, but you groups, you people are basically the same. Adventurers through and through, not really paying a heed other than to your own needs. I mean, you could go with haste, but you wouldn't like what you find there.
Well, let me give you some advice that you learn in old age. Lead with the part where you can help us rather than anything else. I'm all down for staying until you can finish whatever device you have in mind.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, sure.
Persuade the team.
No, young lady. Don't be talking to me like that.
And to persuade.
No.
Alright, do it,
It's
Mud.
fine, guys. I'm really good at
Really
got
good.
9.
9. She's like, shut up, old man. You don't own me.
Yeah,
You know,
Now,
she.
old man.
Shut up.
You would realize her hands remain firmly crossed, and there is now a slight sigh, and her posture sort of shift downwards. Yeah, sure. Whatever. My point still stands. If you guys would like to, I don't know, enjoy some peace? I mean, be real with your second. Be real with yourselves for a second. Do you really just want to go right back into a fucking madhouse outside? Or at the very least, take a few moments to, I don't know, enjoy a real meal, actual water. So I heard something about a shadow beast wine, whatever the fuck that is. Maybe have an
She's saying, do you guys want to win the 70,000 poll on the Twitch stream right now? Or do you want to go Rose?
That's all my points, please.
Like realistically, fuck going out during the full moon. You know.
I'm also no.
Realistically, I'd like to drink more wine, but I could go.
Listen, my brother just said his arm is hurting. That's never good for a word to have his arm
Be
hurting.
here
So
for
he
an
has to
extra
rest
2
his arm.
days, basically. We're gonna be here till.
You need to rest your arm. Now we're
Yeah,
doing
no,
push-ups.
no, it's just one of my arms. It's my non-fighting arm that hurts.
Oh, the
That doesn't exist. Every arm is fighting. Even a baby toe could be a fighting arm.
Bruh.
I will say, how did you arrive here? I'm assuming you have some sort of cart or wagon.
That's right.
In the event that you need supplies, I don't know really how you've been preserving your horses or whatever beast you have dragging them. We have a fabulous Wainwright, a goblin who was rescued from Rosewood. She is elusive, but let's just say this: she has quite the mouth, and you can see she says that with a sigh.
Potato.
Potato.
hope this
Potato.
is Goblins
Oh.
2.0.
Potato.
Are they, would you happen to
gosh.
know if she's for hire?
I mean, we hardly get wagons coming
Potato.
through here anymore. And at the very least, when they do come, she seems to make short order of the ones that are like damaged. I mean, her services wouldn't charge you much of anything, provided I'm sure you tell her what this is a whole thing about. I mean,
I just look towards the rest of the party and I just say, we need her.
You need a goblin?
No, we need a Wainwright.
Oh.
Why did your eyes linger on me like for a little bit longer when you said that?
You're imagining things.
No, he definitely looked at you. I saw it through the hooves.
On his feet? You saw it through the hooves on. Okay.
Every movement can tell a story.
I believe what he means
You're
is
delusional.
body language, but no, that's a
I'm
thing.
Aurelius.
Yes. I can easily tell how you'd be feeling, actually. Well, I think that'd be nice. Yes. You see, he just pulls out a handkerchief and starts basically just like wiping down his helmet while he waits.
all right. Well, she's not too far from here. If you go back towards the keep, make an immediate left, and then look past a little bit of buildings, you'd see well, it's quite conspicuous. Dare I say anything more? And it's really hard to miss. You'll know it when you see it.
Hard to miss, my favorite.
Yeah, she has quite a personality, you know?
Like, whatever. I guess I'll find out.
Do we get a name? What's her name? What's this Wainwright's name?
Roly, if you believe it or not.
Rolling.
Will you spell it out? Spell it out for me?
Please
Spell it
don't.
out for me?
Please don't tell me her last name's Polly.
No, but that's a good guess. She used to have a bit. Oh, I'm being called by my parents. Hold on. Oh, my mom is coming. Oh, my mom is calling. All right, I'm
By
back.
old
Fine,
man.
whatever, old man. Regardless.
But yes. Kind of like I was saying. Yeah, her name's Roly. Roly on Wheels was the name of her business before before Rosewood blew up. Yeah, don't get her started about literally anything. She is quite...
I think we do, actually. We
I
need
look at
her.
Uriel.
No,
Caldo looks at Uriel.
no, trust me when I say this, and you can see her eyes open wide to the point where you can see her forehead starts making crinkles and wrinkles. Her eyebrows stretch, And she looks at you wide-eyed, shaking her head. No, you don't want to do that.
I'm just saying, the more useful you are, the more difficult you get to be. Why do you think I get away with it?
You don't.
I do. I'm
We
still
all
here,
talk
aren't I? You can talk about it as much as you want. You put up with it.
What do you mean
We
by...
try
At
getting
least we're gonna be here for the next 2 days anyway, so I mean, she can get right on
She's like a
fixing up the
roach.
wagon.
Yeah, if she's up at around this time, I think her business is closed, but you should perhaps see her the first thing tomorrow. And, I will say, as for you, have you ever made a decision regarding those potions? You've been awfully quiet, Kaldar, I believe.
If you have one willing to spare, I wouldn't mind it, yes. After giving it some thought, I think it wouldn't hurt to at least try it.
At
Yeah,
least keep it as the last resort.
yeah, sure.
The main reason I act like this is because, well, you know, the steward made it sound like it was a matter of life and death, so obviously I was like, I don't know if I should commit to that. But if you have one willing to spare, I'd be happy to take it. Yeah. He just shrugs.
You know,
Puts his helmet away.
that's... I don't know if it's just me, but that steward is quite the oddball. He's not all there, but one thing he is right about is the potions. I mean, I wouldn't say it's anything as extreme as life and death, but as I let you know earlier, you will be changed, or at the least there's a possibility for it. And I just want to make sure that you have if anything, you'd be using it for the right reasons, but you seem swell enough. Here, and you would see she reaches into a side pocket and she tosses into the air what appears to be a vial of moonlight plugged in a bottle, and you would catch it in the palms of your hands and you would watch it swirl around with a silvery liquid. The effects are marginal, but if you drink that, you should be fine for about a few minutes to an hour, really. I mean, think of it this way. Can you imagine your first time ever getting drunk or drinking? Suffice to say that it has diminishing returns. The more you use these, the less impactful they'll become. But I imagine the first time you use this, well, for me, I didn't have to use another vial until a few days later. But then again, that's me. And she looks at her hands and tattoos and wings, and you should follow something similar. If not, she sort of shrugs.
Looks at it. He's gonna look at her through the glass as she says this, through the filter.
And as you
Alright.
look,
You see her
As-
ugly form. Ah.
you see her form, though there seems to be more light permeating from the wings, and the halo itself seems to be a lot more airy. It's almost got that sort of electric neon light sort of sensation, the sort
Yeah,
of fuzz
yeah.
around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You see, he will stow the item.
Okay.
Let me freaking stow the item. Yeah.
Nice. For all intents and purposes, just add a drop of moonlight to your inventory.
That's cool.
A little bit of
That's cool.
moonlight.
Don't have a boogie.
Running on a boogie.
Gotta add this to
Muriel,
consumable.
meet me on the balcony at the when the moon is at its fullest.
Is this a
Thanks,
confession?
Jester, what are you talking about?
That's beautiful. See, look at that. That kinship's still there with them.
What happened to you and my sister?
Just thank the gods it's not my sister.
I'm gonna throw him off.
Why are you talking
Try.
in such a weird
can
way when you
fly.
say that?
He can fly.
Wizards
you
are
have to
one
knock them
thing,
out first.
but old wizards are quite annoying. Sorry, Uriel.
We tend to linger like a bad smell.
Yes, like a nursing home, precisely.
Smell like goat.
The plague.
What's a nursing home?
You know he's not a goat, right? Hours.
Looks like a goat.
It's simply a place for the old to go.
Oh, like a graveyard.
Almost, but they're still alive.
To the
Like
book
your
grab
aunt's
graveyard.
house.
Jesus. I keep hearing about his aunt. I would love to meet her someday.
I'm sure she'd love to meet you.
Oh.
One of these days, you're going to wake up without one of your parts.
Hey, I don't mean to
You got a-
wrap
you
up
got
a
a picture?
lovely group of friends, but can you do that somewhere else? I'm trying to channel some moonlight here. And you'd see at this point she's resting somewhat close to the front altar. She has her hands palmed up, and you would see slivers of light being drained from the moon crystals into her. It's kind of hard to do that when people are talking, you know.
Well,
Maybe you should just focus a little harder. But we'll get
No.
out of your way.
knowing that,
This
you notice that
generation.
Kaldar perks his head up and he says, "Actually, that's just a matter of attention." You see, he grins a little, giving her a look like, "Hey, you gotta work harder. That's on you."
She's sort of like, it's almost as if the like streams of moonlight are like puppet strings. She lets go of them and she just turns around and gives you like the bitch what look towards you, just like, huh? Just almost baffled that you even do such a thing. Just kind of like, huh? But she drops
Those are-
it, raises her hands. You'd see she takes an audible. Yeah, whatever. Get going. Before I have to call the
To
guards
be
or something.
fair, when I was her age, I couldn't even cast yet.
I like to roll an insight check and see how much wisdom she has. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's no way you can do that. I think that's what. Which fighter is that can do that? Determine a. Is it samurai?
Yeah.
I thought it was like more
Samurai
Battle
can do it.
Master.
Battlemaster can do it. I remember doing it as Horus
I don't know,
once,
it's a
though.
samurai cavalier.
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
Probably
There's that.
Battle Master.
Battle master fighter. In another time, in another life, somewhere. Anyway, on that note, Kaldor will be like, "All right, let's get going then. Suppose we'll spend the night, find a place to rest. I believe we're welcome in the castle, actually." As he's walking out with the squad, the homies. Oh wait, we still have to go to the apothecary. If it's still open tonight, Uriel.
Yes, we do.
Are you all going to be coming with us? We're going to get some potions and ingredients over there.
I also need to go.
Okay. Carter? Jester?
Carter.
Okay.
I just told you what. Yeah, I just told you I wasn't coming, and you responded back to me again.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I didn't hear you either.
Oh yeah, I said that's beyond me, so I'm not coming.
All right. Sure. Jester? Okay. All right. To the apothecary and then the castle afterwards, once we're done.
Sure.
All right.
I'm so curious
Let's
about
get moving.
ducks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna humor that thought. I'm really not.
'Tis beyond a full moon, do you hear the ducks?
You
look
hear
at
somebody say,
Jerome, or is
a
that
bunch
the
of-
other guy?
For a hand
You,
axe,
bunch of
you see out of the corner of your eye, Jester and Jester alone, you see Jerome, his hands cradling on the side of a building. It's almost as if he's literally just gripping himself, defying gravity itself, before you see he slowly slinks his head backwards. The man has been trailing you for quite some time, it would seem.
"What the fuck?"
Yeah, I mean, like at the drop of a hat, like I'm walking with like Bishop now, right? You know, and then he's like, talking to me, and then he blinks, and I just want to go. I'm dipping. Like this guy is not going to follow me. I don't want anything to do with this guy.
Jester,
might
you
go-
just hear
Investigate the crypts a little.
a bunch of baby ducks and
I'll
them
come
to
with
the
you.
moon.
That sounds very
No.
You want to go investigate some crypts?
Why
No!
not?
We've been over this! No! Please!
I'll watch from
no.
the outside.
So essentially, what I want to do is I want to follow Bishop, right, from a distance, but I want to be hidden. You know?
So you want to be hidden from this guy specifically?
Yeah.
Give me a
Jerome
stealth
sees
check.
everything.
Don't worry, I'm good at these.
All right.
Wow, look at that. You failed.
All right. And as the night continues roaring on, the moon keeps singing her song, light continues to pour up from the divine heavens above. Lo and behold, before not, you would find your way to the entrance of some simple building, though it is not unique in terms of its function or in terms of its initial identity outside. The only thing catches your interest is the presence of a large cauldron, and with it, assembling inside, you would smell all kinds of foreign but somewhat pleasing sensations weaving and billowing out of it like an old chimney. You would get a wave of and myriad of concoctions currently being brewed up, and you would hear the sounds of a as from outside the window you would see a small flash, and you would hear the sounds of a large rumbling as someone just fuck, not again, too much Snyder. Maybe not enough Bat Guino this time. And you would see coming outside the door, wide open, a man covered in soot head to toe. You would see he's partially balding on one side, and you would see he has this large apron and this crooked smile that he almost bewilders each one of you as he makes his way out. It's still steaming and dreading of ash. The man comes up. Fuck. Yeah. Excuse me.
Jesus.
Oh shit, who are you? Oh fuck.
Good
Greetings.
evening. Customers, are you open this evening? We were hoping to buy some things from you. We have money.
Well,
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Coin purse. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
What kind of misadventure have you gotten into?
nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of an alchemist's incident. I'll spare you the details, but are any of you familiar with a potion of alchemist's fire?
Yeah.
Well, it is an exact science, one that I wish to change and stretch the boundaries of. And, well, I added a little bit too much Batguino, and, well, I'm sure, as we all know, it could lead to a interesting conundrum. God. And you can see he's dusting himself off, and you can see he's the best of his ability. The man is covered in what appears to be a smoldering ash, and the more he scrapes away, the more it seems to find itself deeply embedded and like dance within his clothing. But pay no mind to that. And you have coin? Great. Oh, you wouldn't happen to have any soul iron, perchance?
Not a chance.
No.
I must have left it in my other pants.
Oh, it's all right then. Well, I guess the old coinage better than no coin. Come inside.
Well, saying new currency discovered. Soul iron. If we kill more piggies, we get soul money.
And the man leads you inside, and give me a second.
Oh shoot.
The man leads you inside, and you see his simple abode slash shop. It's strange at first, where you see in what you might expect the typical arrangements of hanging herbs ready to be dried out, some strange monstrous parts, somewhat familiar, somewhat unrecognizable, are hanging around the shop. Do you see the beginnings of this man's ruckus? You would see a pot left out. You would see a bit of mildew and mold brimming at its top. and you would see next to it a pile of unfolded clothes, and you would see, you could taste the stench lingering beside it. It is foul and it is noticeable. With it to the side, you see the man has a plethora of unsorted papers, and a lot of them seem to be stained now due to the large impact. But more brimming than not, you would see there seems to be some meager potions lined on the shelves. Each seem to be in small ounces, but not denoting of their potential effects. The man has them lined up to the sides of the walls, and with that you see a bed and an accompanying fireplace. The man himself still has a brimming kettle, and while he implores you in, you would see he pulls from the kettle, gets a few cups out, and offers the strange liquid to each one of you before he takes a hearty sip of it. What a good thing tea is, isn't it? What a great,
What kind of tea?
thing.
I take a sip though.
Well, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the surrounding wildlife. I try to be resourceful. See, before we came here to the wall, there was a few cattle that needed to be tended to, and well, they have this unique property about their ears, one that allows for better hearing and mental acuity, and well, I would like to think it is a curse to some, but a blessing as a result of this crimson-covered land. You might refer to it as regular herbal green tea, but with a cow's twist. As you can see, he takes a sip of it. Uriel, you take a sip of your tea and you see a chunk of something floating and foreign. It is only until you hear the man's words do you recognize the slight formation of something fur-covered, and you believe you are seeing the same ear he described. A cow's whole ear remains idling into the cup. And as you take a sip of it, it is rancid. It causes the ends of your mouth to curl of their own fruition. Though you do feel a little bit at peace. Despite the mental anguish it is to huff the thing down, it is not so entirely bad. You feel a little calmer.
It's not great. Does it at least work?
Patent pending, and the effects have yet to be truly notarized, but I think so. Or at the very least, it is certainly the belief of it that has done it for me.
That is not confident.
But yes, how can I help you?
Well, we're customers. I'm looking for ingredients and some advice.
The browser wears, yes.
Ingredients, well, I have a very select few. I will say I can tell you what I have in stock, if that's alright. Mainly, though, I will say, if you have any reservations to general remedies towards healing, I will let you know that there is a heavier request for them, considering the recent campaign, and you might be expunged to know that the prices have been raised, if that's all due fairness to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, I have here Redimentum mushrooms, hag's finger, there's quite an assortment. Do any of you, well, you seem to be interested. I have a few fire peonies,
Oh, yes.
Mariso twigs, what is it? Idleclaw, lightning moss, sour grass, a touch of wolfsbane.
Idle claws.
How much for an alchemist kit? An alchemy set?
Oh, my dear boy, I'm terribly sorry. I do not possess such excess in supplies in that regard. I, in fact, am needing in that regard. I don't have extras to afford to give. If any of you, perchance, were to have any missing, or even incomplete sets, I would pay you a hefty price for it. As you would imagine, my line, as you've seen firsthand, of alchemy is always getting a new question, and that is often at the cost of my tools.
What exactly do you need out of the set? I might be able to help.
Mainly vials per se. Most elixirs I come up with are brimming, to say the least. They aren't the most swimming of concoctions, and well, I find myself always short-staffed, or rather, short-glassed.
Yes, that
Crickets.
tracks.
Just crickets.
But to answer you earlier, idle claws or something along the lines of this. I don't know if I can.
I know what idle claws are. I'm
Oh,
just mean
you
I am
know.
interested.
Oh, well, all right then. I will say that things are quite hefty, but if you would like idle claws, I have roughly looks around. Starts rolling. I have roughly 7 to give you, and a bunch. The rest of it we could go in, but regardless, what do you seek out? And as for finished potions, I have a few.
I need a list of what he has so I can look.
Okay, I will prepare you that list, but for the time being, he's going to pretend you're having a conversation with him, and I will start typing out the list. Give me a second.
Hey, Mud.
Yeah.
Can I use your alchemy kit?
Yeah, if I'm not using it.
Okay. Because I think after learning about this new potion, Kaldor's going to start going on the potion grind. So he's probably going to buy a bit of everything. I'm not going to lie.
I'm gonna buy this guy's store out. So.
Dude! 50-50?
No.
Bro,
But I need ingredients to learn how to make potions.
Remember what I said. It could be herbalism at the same time in your special interests. I didn't want it to be so crippling. So I said it could be alchemy or
you can do that by you can get experience by identifying the ingredients, like their properties.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not
Okay.
as much as the finished things, but if you were to take time per se and start doing that, it would certainly be of great interest and
That's how I
benefit.
got the bulk of my XP so far, besides making gunpowder.
Okay.
By the way, that shit still is cracked. I will stand by this to this day. That shit is still
so you said-
cracked.
That's why
You
I'm
have a
interested in those
poison
fire
for-
peonies.
Because I do have a poisonous kit. Do I have a...
How many fire
Where's that?
peonies does he have?
I have 7.
Let me
I need.
actually-
Well, I actually don't even need fire peonies that much. I more need the other one.
Because a lot of these potions, unless it's dire, I don't really plan on using them other than to learn their recipes.
The idle claw I really want, because if I can find something else that helps, I can start making haste potions, and that would be fucking crazy.
Dude! Yes?
But
Dude, I
I
wanna
don't know
learn
what
how to make-
I need to find something else that provides
Oh,
haste first.
but listen. We still have, or I still have that freaking mystery box potion. Remember from a while back?
Yeah.
And
Oh, Jesus.
'cause I really need one of us to learn what it is. I really do.
The immortality potion?
It's not immortality. We don't know. It's like all I know is
another
it's,
one.
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so oh no, that's the one that you wanted me to identify. Yeah, so what I'm doing
Yeah.
is because we only have one of that potion, I'm trying to get to like high level alchemy before I try and identify it so I can not use any of it.
Right.
Because if I do it while I'm low level, the chances of failure are so high.
Question with alchemy, could I make healing arrows?
You know, I've given it some thought. Real talk, probably. It'd be like kind of like Minecraft, the new Minecraft update with healing arrows like that.
Yeah.
I would treat it something like that. Yeah. I would say this would require a little bit, not let's just say reasonably being the potion part is like doable. It's just more about like making it feasible so that like
Yeah.
it blows up, like the glass shatters but it doesn't cut you. It's more of a tinkering thing, I would like to imagine. At least that's what I can initially come up with. But yeah, I see why
Okay.
not.
Okay. I'll also check and see if this guy has an herbalist kit that he's not want to use either.
Okay. Does he have anything else he would be able to give? And he has 2 of these. In terms of buying the ingredients raw, he has the following. He has 7 idle claws, and I'm going to post this when I'm done. 7 idle claws, 5 bits of patches of lightning moss, 4 sour grass, 4 things of wolfsbane, 9 fire peonies, 6 red amentum mushrooms, which I would largely think all of you at this point, it is common knowledge that this is the basis of most healing potions, and 6 rainbow mushrooms. And he seems to take a very, very giddy laugh at that. As for that, in his finished potions, let me consult a book for the appropriate prices, but I will get to you that. I will get to you guys in a right a second.
5,000 gold.
Yeah, but I also want advice from this guy. I have questions.
Okay, and at that point, start shooting. Shooter.
Yeah, so I'm aware that idle claws can produce effects similar to a spell I know, haste, but I'm trying to find out what else holds similar effects.
What exactly do you intend on creating?
I need something that'll allow my more martially inclined comrades to move faster, fight more effectively.
Something to loosen the step, to spring the legs, I suppose?
Yes, much like idle claws, but I need a second ingredient.
I see. And you are trying to create this potion.
I will be, as soon as I buy your idle claws and whatever else I need off of you.
Let me roll something real fast.
Potion seller. I'm going into battle.
I need your strongest potions.
I need your strongest potion. Don't you riddle me, potion man. I know you have what I want, and I'm not leaving this room until I get it. Yeah. Don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me, I have a knife.
I have a knife. I do magic.
Potion seller, listen to me now.
And my mom calls me pretty cool. She thinks I'm a cool deer. A great deer.
My mom thinks I'm a really cool and smart cook.
She thinks I'm pretty cool, I'm pretty swag, you know.
Mom says it's my turn with the OP potion.
No, literally. Hey, Uriel, can I have the alchemy kit?
Mom says it's my turn with the alchemy kit.
Mommy, it's my turn. Shut up. No one's gonna use it if it keeps up. Quit your yapping. Quit your bitching, kids.
I'll pour it down the drain.
Use it, you broke a vial.
This is the full everything he's got willing to buy or willing to sell.
This is in terms of raw ingredients. I'm currently working up the prices for the more finished products. And I will just say everything else is labeled, so no need to worry about identifying it.
For XP purposes, we want the raw ingredients, so you can double up on XP, by the way.
Woohoo! Alright, how much you willing to give me?
Alright.
I mean, I need
We
what
buy
I'm
everything.
gonna use. Like,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna buy it all, and if I'm not interested in making anything with it, I'll give it to you. And I'll give you one of each, so you can fucking get XP for identifying them.
Okay. Cool.
The only reason I haven't been using my idle claw that's in my inventory is I have one, so
Right,
as soon as I
yeah.
get more, I can actually start using them.
Yeah. I imagine it's like, alright, Bishop, sit down. I'm going to teach you.
It was like a
to identify items.
I had to roll for these idle claws, and I got like 2, and one was for identifying it.
Yeah. So this is what you do to,
Which is the
figure
fate
out
of
the
everything
mosses.
useful. Like I have like a couple of poisons that I don't need to identify. I have 1 flame lily, 1 idle claw, 1 death cat.
in my head canon, right? I know this probably doesn't happen, but in my head canon, we just eat these like Skyrim. That's my head canon.
That's poisonous.
Yep,
That's highly toxic. It tastes good.
I'm gonna have diarrhea for days.
The Bonthia method.
I am definitely
just
going to
drink
be
the
sick
poison.
after this. Definitely. I just know it's not going to lead to anything good. I just know it.
Damage
Don't drink
stigma.
poison. You're limiting your worldview. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm going to be paralyzed for the next couple of days.
Maybe poison stuff tastes the best, and you will never know.
You know, I wouldn't know about that. You know,
You gotta try it at least once. I'm just saying, cyanide might taste good.
You're so fucked. What is he saying?
I
You don't
mean,
know.
is he wrong?
I mean, you
people
can.
who've
No, I
tasted
can't.
cyanide
We're on
know.
stream. I can't make that joke. Never mind.
They seem to enjoy it.
No comment.
Hey, Mud, let me know. You like try it out and let me know. All right.
Taste to die for.
Feed him in a fish. Feed him for a day. You feed him in a poisoned fish. You'll feed him for the rest of his life.
God, dude, fuck feeding the fish. I'm just gonna slap Mud with the fish.
What the hell?
Oh, I got the sound. I got the
Wait till we
sound.
get fish.
Oh,
Hey,
wait.
fish!
Hold on, let me, hold on, guys. You also gotta consult the prices. Where is it?
What? What now? What is it?
What now? What now? What
What?
Yes, what now? Can't you see I'm busy buying
What?
potions?
Wood.
Would
No.
Would
You're
you?
giving me trauma.
Would you?
Wood.
Oh, potion
Potion seller.
of healing.
I'm going into battle.
I need your finest potion. That's all he has in terms of finished products, and I will be right back. My mom is calling me.
That was literally me from Barony. Potion seller.
Guys, we buy the oil of flipperness and we use it on the king pig.
Dude.
He's probably already sleepy, my guy.
Oil
What
up
if,
on
we
his...
use, what if I turn myself into a pig and we use the oilless slipperiness on me and I just like ran through town
you what? You got out.
and I rampage through town,
As a greased up
knock
pig?
over stalls. Yeah, just a greased up pig. Make people chase me.
Random forever.
Dude, that'd be crazy. Oil slippery. Oh yeah, I can't recount with the times I played with Baldur's Gate 3 with Potato how I would slip on oil or grease that was on the ground, and then I have to get the stupid boots just to walk over it.
Skill issue.
But do you remember when those freaking golems would cast that ice spell and they would just freeze the ground over?
I wouldn't know. I nail all of my fucking boots.
Give me 1 second.
I forgot you can do that.
One.
I played Divinity 2. I know how this works. you nail.
I think they're making another Divinity game.
Yes,
Actually.
they've hinted at it, and I'm fucking hyped because it's their best game, to be honest.
Hey, I
Divinity?
bought that up
Yeah.
last week.
It has the combat's way
Oh my
more fun
God.
than their Baldur's Gate 3 combat.
Potato,
The elemental
Divinity
system's
2,
perfect.
Divinity 3, Battle Royale. Let's go.
No.
Just
You
the weird
know-
shit you can do with teleport and all them elemental effects, blessing and cursing. It's so cool.
I remember you telling me, Potato, you're like, yeah, so there's gonna be a Battle Royale, but you can just kill me. I was like, what? What?
Oh, that
Oh, hey,
in Divinity 2.
wait.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
It is now time to start buying stuff. By the way, I ain't gonna lie. By
Yeah.
the,
So,
by the
what's
way,
the
it's-
price for all of that? All of
How
the
about it?
unfinished goods, not the potions.
Jesus Christ! I knew he asked me, but I didn't. Let me get a
You should have
calculator.
been
out.
ready.
Shop
do you mean?
theme.
I had to make.
I already told you I plan
Mud.
on buying it out.
Mud said he wanted
Turn it up.
everything.
I will give you 2 copper for all of it.
I can assure you, it's not
I'll
that.
give you 2 schmeckles and 1 Palladium gift card.
I have a bar of gold. Is this enough?
A whole bar.
5 pounds.
5-pound bar.
I was gonna make a cat out of it, but I decided to just use it for money instead.
This is my petition to make the Guy's shop theme like universal, like in every game.
Guys,
Every-
shop
so
theme
good.
should always be the Wii shop theme.
At every game, oh yeah. Battle Block Theater, my beloved. Alright. Also,
Alright.
question, Mud. I was thinking for the vest between his hide. What about? Do you like gold?
What are you
Like
talking?
a-
Oh, the vest. I was just thinking, like a slightly darker red. But
Darker
gold
red.
would work.
Okay. Because I was thinking like it's not obviously like just a golden fabric because I think that matches his earrings or his
Yeah.
jewels.
Yeah, I'd be completely fine with red or gold.
Red or okay. I'm gonna try it with red. Let me know how
Whichever
you think, that
looks
looks.
better.
All right. We'll start with red, and if you don't like it,
Red.
for the commission, I literally just made it so that he, like you could just see his chest. Like I was just like, oh, all fur.
He's a furry lad.
No.
He's a fur ball.
He's a furry lad.
Get him out of here.
Get out!
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
I still don't know
Also-
the context behind that video, but it was hilarious.
That motherfucker sitting in the back, the plane back there, not real.
There's fire peonies. Oh, they're literally the exact. I'm an idiot.
No, you just didn't know it yet.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't look at the prices of this stuff until I need to.
See, it's like for me, for each game, the price guide in the 5e book just doesn't match, man. Like it just doesn't. It's like, no, like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, he doesn't get it. I get it. Fuck you, Matt. God
That's
damn it.
I
the
just live
D&D
here.
baby. He's the baby of the group. Even though
Oh.
he's one
I
of the
just
oldest
love
ones
him,
here.
I feel really bad. The more I think about it, I did Matt like a horrible introduction to D&D, or at least in my game, and I feel
That was awesome.
He got his hand cut off.
Dude, he got the experience though. He got his hand chopped off.
Remember in
skill check?
Calamity where when Nick had to play not being able to make con saves and also having to make con saves
Who
to
couldn't
move
dash?
like every
Someone
turn?
couldn't dash. Was it Nick?
I couldn't dash. I had to
You
make a
couldn't
dex
dash.
save to dash.
You couldn't dash. I had no arm.
it's I had to make a con save, or else I couldn't take action reaction.
We
But I
needed.
had-
Remember, we needed to get out of the falling cavern, and I had to make dex saves to dash.
Yeah.
Bardog
It
died.
just it just shows how far we've come
That's true.
as a group.
I just
It's so
screamed
far.
that. I wasn't ready for you to scream that.
You would never.
Otter dog died.
This
and I
dog
haven't
died.
forgotten.
Don't forget the
Leave me
followers
alone.
of
I'm
war.
not in a good mood.
Alright. Assuming you don't make any attempt to like haggle him, it is 1,420 gold pieces for all that.
Alright, spend it all.
That
So-
That sounds wrong. What the fuck?
So 1,420 gold
This
without
guy's
potions,
nickel-and-diming us.
dude. Okay, so well, we can afford that, right? But like,
Hold on,
I can afford that, but I'm not paying that. How much for
Alright,
the idle clause?
because whoa, hold on. Before we zero in on one, let me attempt. My persuasion's pretty good. How much do I need to make a persuasion check for, my good sir?
Persuade this dude before I fucking penis explode him.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Send him to the penis explosion and have his penis exploded.
Dude, that's gotta hurt though. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking transmute his balls to tungsten.
I can tungsten ball.
No. It's literally. Oh, where is it? Where is it? You do that, and then you just hear on the floor.
Thanks.
That's
Yeah.
gonna hurt though.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check. I'm just back. Sorry, I'm getting called like a lot.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. Here's my persuasion check. Let me know how well you think I did with a 25, 26, actually.
Alright, I gotta roll
As
something.
Partisan is like, I'm a new potion seller, and I'd like to learn how to make potions, and Yorio's my teacher, and I'm hoping that I can learn something as an experience, you know?
As part of, is this what you're saying to persuade him as well?
Yes,
Also,
he's
this dude is not getting many customers. God damn.
No, he's not. Yep.
I rolled this with advantage. 97.
Woo! 97% off. Let's go.
That means he gives us it to us as charity.
You know, hearing your you wanting to be new in the potion business, you just trying to really dust yourself off. It reminds him of his time. Now this man, unnamed NPC.jpg, tells you and regales of his stories as a young man with a similar interest, although no one of his time gave him any charity. And you know, he looks around, looks at you. You remind him of himself when he was younger.
Wow.
But certainly not as handsome as him. I mean, look at him. He says this, but he's covered in ash, and it's just like his hair is lifted up into the strands. But
he can.
As generous as he feels, he gives you a hefty discount. Meaning, what was the original total? So let's see.
Over 1,000.
He lowers it a little substantially. He now proposes that the new total, now that you've regaled him in stories of yore and previous or current occupational goals, 9,000 or 900. Excuse me, not 9,000. Fuck, 997
gold
gold
pieces.
pieces.
Inflate that price.
Yeah, let me just add a 0.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that! See,
100 gold off. That's crazy.
997 for everything. That's for everything, Mud. Come on, quit being cheapskate.
Including the potions?
No, that's just raw ingredients.
This
was raw ingredients.
This is still a lot of money.
Bro, that's literally. That's only like 90 platinum.
Isn't a platinum 100 gold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. Wait. No. Wait.
Remember,
no. Yeah.
we
Well,
did-
it's only nine.
It's 9 platinum.
9 platinum.
In this world, remember, it's 9
That's
platinum.
nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, but I only have 600 plat left.
You fucking Mr. Krabs.
All right.
His money.
He's just
Krabs!
dude, this guy's penny pitching as fuck. He's got the own money literally been injected to his veins. He's like, but ma'am, I have 900 and shut up.
Back in my day, it didn't cost more than what?
No, but you know the scene from SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob to Flying Dutch? It was like, I'll give it to you for 62 cents. I would.
Hey man,
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna pay it, but first I want to ask him a question. I also needed some advice. You see, I'm in sort of a bind. I need to suspend a working potion in wine and have it not taste awful. I'm unsure how to do that, realistically. I need to be able to suspend a potion in wine and still have it retain its original effects, is the most pressing concern. Taste can come afterwards.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm more of a kind of curator and creator of potions. I am a potion effect first potion. How would I say it? I really care about the effects, just the taste. His voice was not like this in the beginning. Holy fuck! I just realized.
Yes, it was not.
But we'll just roll with it though. Roll with it. He always sounded like this. You're delusional. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that can really help you in terms of that. I've always wanted to focus on the effects nonetheless. I mean, I'm just bewildered, really.
Right.
I mean,
but how would I retain the effects having suspended the potion in another liquid?
I mean, if it's not obvious to you, it's obvious to me. I mean, the best you can do is, well, every liquid has a different density. That's why water and oil don't really mix too well. So I'd imagine, to my basic understanding of what you're saying to me, they should just be able to, you know, put them in the same bottle, as long as the bottle's big enough. You know what I'm saying? Just like maybe find a way to separate it, or like I don't know, an edible glass. I don't even know how I'd go about it. But the point is, they should be able to mix, or at least it would be crude. I mean, it depends on the potion. If it's as refined as you think, and you know, it doesn't seem like it needs to be exposed. Like alchemist fire, for example. I wouldn't see why you would consume it, but I'm saying it's just like different solubility, you know? Just wouldn't be I don't think it'd mix, but if you had a guy devoted to it, I think this is more of a brewmaster question. I mean,
yes, clearly. Oh, thanks for attempting anyway. Oh yes, and about the price. 900 gold. I'm willing to buy your stock of raw ingredients.
oh, sure. And I will say, just for I haven't gotten anyone really giving me any real business, so on top of that, I would just throw in a few of these. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be using any of this shortly, but I mean, no one else around here, none of the guards seem any use of it. But I'll toss in this, and he then adds on top of that, as part of it, the oil of slipperiness. And what effectively that does, he's like, well, I remember you said you wanted some of your buddies to be a little faster, you know, just to, you know, not really want to, well, this might not always do it, it'll help you wriggle out of a bind, you know. Effectively,
right.
When this is splashed on someone, it takes 10 minutes to apply, but the creature gets effectively freedom of movement for 8 hours. Alternatively, it can be poured on the ground and it duplicates the effect of grease for 8 hours. So it just depends. And you're just tossing that on top of the pot.
Okay. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, no,
You're quite generous.
I have been told that I have a very chadescent soul, you know.
Oh, what?
Chadescent? You know what I'm saying?
That's not a word.
Look it up. It's in the dictionary. Chadescent.
Saki, that's not a word, right?
Look it up in the dictionary.
How do you spell that?
I could hear him.
He's actually looking it up.
I asked the DM and he's not answering, so I have to.
I think. Am I spelling it wrong? I swear I looked this up the long time ago.
How do you spell it?
I think it was like CHAD. Chadescent. Maybe this is like an Urban Dictionary word I heard a while ago. Chad. Maybe I actually made it up. Who knows?
Candescent is what I can find.
Was it candescent? I don't know. I was trying to use a funny word there.
Nah, you're tripping. That's not a real word.
Maybe I am tripping. Anyways, yeah, he still
Make it
sticks
till
with
you
it.
make it.
Chardescent. I am quite chardescent after all.
Whatever you say.
So, how much for a potion of healing?
I give him 9 plat.
And I will populate your sheet. Well, I'll probably just drag it to the cart.
Joey Wheeler. Yeah.
You wanted a potion of healing? Potion of healing.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my first. That's gonna be the first potion I try and make. Actually.
Oh, that'll set you back 50 gold. Not much
All
about
right.
it.
I'll pay that. Sure. And just for good keeping, you've been a really charming fella. I really like your stories. Here, and he'll just give him a platinum. Keep the change as a good tip.
Oh,
For being
well.
so generous and kind.
Well, I can't let you outdo my charity and my chardescentness. So here's what. You give me that, and let's just say I never had this in stock. I just forgot it, you know? Maybe I had it, maybe I didn't. Who knows? And he hands you a potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Whoa! Oh, wow. Thank you. I mean, oh no, I found this on the floor. I think this must have been dropped outside or something.
I know. I've never seen such a finely made potion a day in my life.
That's strange. Uriel, did you make this potion? I found this.
I might have and just forgotten about it.
He must have. There's no possible way. And he just gives you all a cheeky smile.
Yep. Nice, W. Listen, that would be cracked. Hey, Auris. Okay. Alright, I'm done being a dumbass. Sorry. Alright, so you said, okay. Nice. The alchemy adventure begins. A new arc.
Hours with Hell Giant Strength will be fucking crazy.
Alright, but I will say, you begin on beginning alchemy?
Yeah.
Well, it might not be the most orthodox method, but I did know once a sort of alchemist that sort of, what was his name? I think his name was Dog. Or at least that's what we used to call him in short. I think his name was Dwayne, but we called him Dog for short. The point is, Dog would, any sort of ingredient he would find, he was a burly man, a man of good heart and constitution, so what he would do was pick up the herb and let nature take its course. I mean, he really wanted to know what he was gonna use did to him. No raw, just a sort of raw bend of the earth, so I don't know if Doug's still alive, but I do remember last I heard of him, he was chasing after a couple mushrooms. I think he developed an addiction, if I can make things out right, but
Oh shit.
I will say, when it comes to examining properties, don't be like Dog. Don't just chuck shit in your mouth and then find out. We're saying he like to fuck around and find out. Don't find out that way, son. Don't find out that way.
Oh, thanks, friend. I wasn't planning on eating them anyway. I'm sure that'd be interesting.
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised what some folks would do unless a kind stranger gives them a kind word. So, who knows?
Right.
I figured, well, not to question your intelligence. You seem to be like a man of sound mind and sound body, but figured I'd ask. Well, not ask, but tell you.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I really wouldn't have known the wiser, to be honest. It's a whole...
That's what friends are for. Testing potions on. And ingredients.
That's true.
I wouldn't be so sure of that, but the man looks curiously at you. Sure, that's a purpose friends are for. I can't say I really would have done that myself, but I I share in your inquisitive nature.
That's what we've got Aurus for. Isn't that right, Aurus?
I am not there.
There is
Oh,
a
look at that. He's come.
There's a cricket in the place of Alris. There's like a perfect cloud of
I went
dust.
with Matt.
Oh, well, I guess he's not here right now. Oh well.
Alright. Well, in the event that I don't see you again, my name is Hector. It's spelled a little funny, you know. My mama said rather see the world, you better be okay with it. So I'm Hector.
Okay.
Spell it out. Spell it out for me.
Type it out. Type it out.
Hector. Thank you, Hector. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Pleasure's all mine, and well, I don't know if I'll see you again, but do yourself the good favor and don't die. Don't die.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Alright, Uriel, time to get our brewing on. It's time to brew.
Quiet.
Alright.
And with that, presumably we bought everything, I guess we're heading back to the castle.
Yep.
Oh, one more thing, Hector. Does this place have a brewmaster?
Unfortunately not. I do recall that there was once in Rosewood, not too long ago. I don't know if he's still there, but I do know that the rumor is going around that a lot of have you ever heard those sturges, mosquito-like creatures?
Oh yes, we have.
Well, they can't really sustain themselves if all their sources of food are dead. So I like to imagine they're keeping a few people alive. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably worse, but okay. I'll look for him.
Well, I just figured to give you a little bit of hope is all. And give you a slight smug smile.
Hey, yo, bro. Bro? Thank you, potion seller. I now have 2 potions that I can study for, train for.
Yeah.
Just like in Oblivion. I had to ask Matt how alchemy works, because I didn't look up the tutorial.
I'm the tutorial.
Alright. Just like that, that will be the end of this. And I would assume to largely wrap up a few things in a nice little bow, you will make your way or find your way throughout the castle. Largely, I think, given your status, you would largely be directed towards the keep, where most of the guards are going in and out. Largely, rooms have been set aside for people of your station, adventurers nonetheless, but all the while supporters of a campaign nonetheless. The rooms are clean, serviceable, and at the very least homey enough for you to get settled in for the night. Well more welcoming than the sort of claustrophobic at times and sort of somewhat uncertain future that Dracula holds and has a history for at this point. Nonetheless, a new day passes.
Hey. Oh wait, no, yeah, we have to wait till tomorrow for this. Never mind.
A new day passes, and with that, each one of you has an opportunity to, use the day as you see fit. And with that, I'll go right down the list here. We're going to start with Jester. It is a new day, and you know that, as informed from yesterday, tonight marks a full moon. And with it, there will be largely the moon will be at its strongest, but nonetheless, there's an opportunity for you to kill a day. Is there anything you plan on doing in particular?
Rolly. We must find Rolly.
Rolly the Holy.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell what's the specific day, by the way?
It is currently Zuket the 26th. It is the day.
Night.
It is the day of birth and mourning, to be exact.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Yay.
give birth.
Zugad's next month, right? Or the month after that?
Zugad is the next month.
Okay, so I have about a month left.
Huh?
Till he
Don't you
explodes.
Oh, yeah.
fucking worry about
Oh yeah, to feed. That's right. Forgot.
it. No, it's not about the feeding.
Till
Huh?
the demon comes to collect.
Oh, the deal. Oh yes, yes, yes.
It's also
Probably.
not about, you're both wrong.
You guys are just assuming
What?
random stuff about his character.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're the
till
plausible guesses, though. Like,
Ariana
hello.
Declare comes to collect.
Listen,
And she takes
I'm not
Uriel
talking
home with her.
that.
We don't owe her anything.
You're not.
Maybe
going
not
to-
us.
I don't owe that bitch anything either.
She soul charge you.
If anything, she owes us.
She owes Uriel a kiss on the mouth.
But
That's so true.
And hot, steamy Iapi.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Uh,
Enterprise resource planning.
I think actually
Yes.
I'm gonna take it back from you, Jester. I'm just gonna make the assumption everyone does the Rolly thing and then maybe divides. Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that fair to everyone?
Yeah.
We could do Rolly and then do our own shit, yeah.
Okay. Well, waking up and eventually perhaps settling down within the keep and gathering along the table, tending to your daily needs, enjoying perhaps a nice light breakfast. You would see many of the guardsmen are still in various different, like the various different phases of the moons, working in shifts. You would see they're coming, going, some of them paying you mind, some of them smiling, waving at you, making, slight gestures and remarks, but nothing too crude, nothing too offensive. As you're done, you would largely proceed outwards and check out the random other assortments of buildings that seem to be acting as the backbone and the spine of the castle. And as you explore side to side, you can't help but notice a crude building. You would see that it is manned directly, it is stationed directly at the exterior wall of the castle, but the more conspicuous thing is you would see the beginning of a large green nose. You would see a large impromptu slab of marble carved out from the wall itself, defying gravity, if you will, as it seems to be prying outwards, and you would see a humble abode nestled within the maws of a goblin. And outside, you would see a plethora of vehicles being tended to. You would see there's a man working with a clipboard. You would see he's finely dressed. You would see he's currently talking to a set of guardsmen who seems to have 2 horses in lead, and he's currently directing them elsewhere. You would see, aside from this, it is a large cobblestone street, and you would see majority of this area is clean except a few wagons, which, as you would see, is currently in a pristine state. If not, you would hear that one of them is being tended to, as there is a metallic ting 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 ting, and you would see one of the reels has been removed from its axle.
This is the place.
I see. All right. Who wants to do the talking? Should I do the talking?
Probably.
All
But
right.
remember, we need her. This cart
Speak
gets
goblin?
fucked on a regular basis.
I mean, certainly it shouldn't be that hard. I have an idea.
The goblin speaks common. Why wouldn't
you
she
never know.
speak common?
Well, you never know.
That's a
These
pretty
are
harmful assumption to make. Wouldn't,
When last were you in Ink City?
A while ago.
Yeah, clearly.
Do you think they're inferior species to yourself?
No, they just don't have to learn common if they don't want to.
Oh,
You're forcing
no.
the common language upon them.
Oh,
No,
no.
it's called the common language because primarily everyone speaks it for the most part.
But not everybody.
Yeah, but
Oh, the civilized races, which includes goblins.
Yeah, you could
Most of
assume
the time.
for the safe part that mostly everyone that you meet can speak common. So why would you assume that she can't?
Hey, you just never know.
It feels like you've never asked this before with anyone else.
We've never encountered goblins before.
Even the lizard folk that had never really talked to us before, or anyone like us before, he spoke. He lived in the marsh his entire life.
Okay, let's move on today. It was a stupid question, okay?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit racy. Whatever.
I think it's a bit of a reverse on that.
Brother, I didn't know that that was an issue.
I never stated it was an issue. I clearly just asked if you could speak Goblin.
Insight check. What's this motherfucker doing?
I'm literally not doing anything.
17. Give me a 17.
I literally just asked you if you could speak Goblin.
No, my brother's just being an idiot.
I generally just asked if you could speak Goblin. You guys turned into this whole thing.
Stop doing that, brother. Please stop. Whatever this thing you're doing, quit it.
I generally don't know what you're doing.
Bro, you see, he looks over to both Jester and Uriel, and then just goes walking. He just keeps walking.
Walking where exactly?
Over toward the place, the dudes. Where was the building?
Okay, do you go inside the building or do you wait outside? Because there's.
We'll give it a knock, I think, just to be polite on the safe side.
You hear a voice from inside, slightly muffled, but yeah, it's open. Come in when you can.
And immediately, Keller will open the door, and he'll open it for everybody else, so he'll go inside. Hello? Is this where we might find a wonderful person willing to do cart business?
Yeah, I would like. She's currently in the back right now, but she's helping me out with a little bit of an axle problem, but sure. I'm sure I'd hope so.
Alright. Great.
See,
do you know how long that would take, possibly?
She told me she'd be back in a few moments. She's just, working out the paperwork. You'd see currently you're talking to what appears to be a guardsman. You would see he's young, somewhat muscular in the face, somewhat Chad Adonis looking.
Alright, sounds good. I can wait. That's fine. And he stuffs his hands in his pockets and just kind of chills out.
And with that, a few moments pass before you'd see prying from a back door, you would see at the beginning of a familiar but somewhat foreign physique. You would see a roughly green, though like primarily on the yellow scale goblin with blue hair, a pair of spectacles, holding and cradling a ledger as well as a few books. You would see she comes cradling down and she would look towards you, gives you a slight smirk and wave, and you would see she turns to the man and she would simply say, well, yeah, here is your paperwork. As for the axle and the wheel, give me a few hours, but I'll send someone to deal with it. If it's not me, I will send an apprentice of mine, but you should be good for the most part. I will say that the next time you go on these roads, I know some of it's a bit more bumpy, but try to take a little bit more caution, a little bit more liberty, perhaps. And if you check chat, this is who you see. No.
Send him off.
Lost control.
Music make you lose control.
And you would see that the goblin looks towards the man. He gives her a firm smile before he writes his signature somewhere into these ledgers. He takes a copy of it and he begins to set his way out before he gives you a wave, Bishop, and then he leaves the shop. For those outside, you would see the man gives you equally the same way, but he walks over to an individual working on the wagon and starts striking up a conversation.
Okay. Gotcha. Kaldar steps forward first, being the face, and he says, are you Dolly? Rolly. Sorry, he meant to say Rolly. I forgot.
That's a nickname. My name's Rosalina, but my friends call me Rolly. You can call me Rolly, I guess.
Oh, well, we heard that from the Vestal. Nice to meet you. My name is Bishop Kaldar. He's my associate, Uriel, Jester, Carter. Wait, who else here? Wait. Before I make a fool of myself, who all's in the building?
We are all here right now.
Okay. Carter, and Alris.
Morning.
We were hoping to look for some mechanical help with our cart. It's a bit of a special type, and it needs special needs.
One of a kind.
Quickly.
I see. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and I hope the Vestal didn't say too much about me. Me and her have quite of an ongoing history, and I hope that you can look past that. But yeah, I could be more than happy to help you. What kind of cart are you dealing with? Are we dealing something more of a stagecoach? Something
Would
more
you just like to see
comparable
it?
to?
That might help.
Yeah, we can't really explain it.
As
When I
Zero
say
said,
one of a kind, I mean that literally.
Yeah.
You know, powered by hell, it seems, that kind of deal.
No, it's powered by a phoenix sword. It's different.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's powered by Zim.
You just have
Same
to see
different.
it.
Right. Yeah, sure. Sure.
All right. We've parked
I can
it
give you the
close by.
grand tour of the cart and exactly how it's powered when we get there.
Yes. Any mechanical questions? Uriel is the best for dealing with those.
Sure. Lead the way.
And with that, we will take her to Dracula.
You would see before she sort of leaves, you would lock the door behind her, switch up the sign, and you would see where it says, "Hey, we're open to out hunting goblins." And you would see what looks like a little human man with a little bit of a net, and the goblins being picked up. Aside from that, you lead her to Dracula, and she looks at its fragile and once immaculate state, now in a tarnished condition, and there is a look of natural curiosity, but almost confusion. What exactly am I looking at here? I'm sorry. It's a lot more metal than I thought. Yeah, I'm used to seeing a few like vehicles with metal. Not too long ago, I met a man with a chariot rather. Sorry, composed of gold. But this is quite something else.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of a kind. I can't exactly talk about the origin, but if you'll come inside, I can explain exactly how it works.
Okay. She follows you.
And I'll take her to the back. This is how it's powered, predominantly. Alris?
Yes?
I need you to plug in the sword.
I'll turn in there.
Alright.
It's
And I'll explain to her how this sword is powering an engine that is moving the cart.
And you would see the initial look of surprise. You would see she crosses her hands, she looks at the wagon, you explain some of the intricacies of how Dracula in its own way, in its own strange way, would siphon some of its powers off of Zim, and then to now cradle that infernal energy for furthering its own use. She nods, and all the while just making more and more sense of it. and she looks towards you and simply says, other than the way it's, well, manned and how it moves, I don't see how it's any particularly different from any other vehicle. One thing I do know is it seems to be rather lovely in here, though. It seems to have seen some better days. I mean, there's shattered
well, that's
glass
one way
there.
in which it's different from some other carts. Is this one gets just about destroyed on a regular basis.
Well, I wouldn't quite. Well, I don't really. I can't really see why not. I mean, if you look at it there, it is literally, as you said, breathing out hellfire. And I know that.
Yeah.
I know that maybe not all creatures take a likeness to that, or at least more bewildered ones in that. I mean, now that I look at this thing, I mean, the heat it radiates, it's kind of glaring to the eye, you know? It's sort of obvious when you put it that way. But nonetheless, in terms of fixing it, I see no problem while we're repairing the exterior, the hull, maybe work on the wheel. I noticed that, well, at the very least, it doesn't seem like this thing will see too much movement. Maybe I can work around doing something about that. I can work with what I have now, but I don't think I'll have enough to either repair the wheel and give it the mobility it lacks, or just at least work on the overall defenses. I mean, what I'd be using, I'm not sure if you're aware of, is the metal here. Soul iron. It can be used for a lot of things, but when it's superheated, it becomes extremely malleable, and when it hardens again, it is comparable to steel. Now, what I could do is help reinforce this wall. I could potentially, I don't know, make it so that the bumpy roads you face won't cut off. Well, if you wanted to, God's above forbid, if you had to go off-road in this thing, maybe it might be an easier time at navigating it. Because I'm going to be honest, the tread on these tires, these wheels, is horrible. I don't also see a way from which multiple people can operate this thing other than the somewhat, as you pointed out, the current one-seated.
I control it with my mind.
And I control it with my hands. He's not very good at it. The axle is
hard,
his, by the way. He did that.
That's mine.
Yeah, I was interested in perhaps expanding that, so perhaps two people could be up front. Maybe expand on the somewhat one pane of glass, or this one pane window, maybe enlarging it, if that would be something you'd be interested in too.
Perhaps.
We could hold hands, Uriel, while we drive.
Absolutely, under no circumstances.
But what I could really promise for the short term is, well, at the very least, to plug up some of these holes. It would be more sturdier than when you found it. But yeah, that would basically be what I can do for you now. Short term, I don't know how much time you got, but well, let's just start there. How much time you got?
Well, our time here, we have what? What was it, partisans?
About a couple of days at most.
A couple days? Suffice to say, yeah. I will run out of iron before then, but I'm sure something can be done, you know? In the event that you can come up with any more iron, I can do a full body makeover for this thing, but for the time being, what would you rather me emphasize? The restoration of the exterior walls, or just focusing on the wheels and perhaps giving you an all-around better time? Maybe just making this thing, I don't know, more serviceable?
would you mind specifying? Are you short on soul iron, or are you short on gold to get soul iron?
Oh, I don't think. Oh my! Do you know how we get it? Maybe
I don't know
no one's
anything about
told you.
soul iron. Actually, Zarky, do I know about soul iron? I did study metallurgy.
I would argue in this particular climate, I think this would be new to you.
Yeah.
Metallurgy, in terms of your better understanding of its baseline properties, I think you'd adapt well to it. But I would like to argue this is new.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know anything about soul iron at all, actually.
Well,
is this a recent thing?
Not really. It's been as old as the curse itself. It really emerged around then. The popular myth is when the continent started bleeding, a large majority of it was due to the recently found deposits of iron. And the reason why it's particularly called soul iron is the geodes it forms, this sort of deposits, they have this vaguely, I don't know, they vaguely look like the faces of people. And if you wait long enough, you can't really hear, or you can believe you hear what is a whisper, hence the name soul iron. But aside from that,
do you have any that you could show me? I happen to be somewhat of an expert in this area.
Yeah, I have some back at my shop, but the point is, it's not really easy to acquire. It takes a considerable amount of effort to extract, and it's quite debilitating. As one might imagine, one spending extended time in darker areas where one might not be exposed to light, hearing voices on a repeated measure, it does something to a person. Therefore, we really don't extract it in large amount of quantities or for a large amount of times. You'd be better suited off to the capital, where people are more adapted to that sort of thing. But we hardly get anyone who trades that with us. I mean, our most recent deposits have been due to the recent swine outbreak. We've taken their weapons, and majority of it has been fastened for food, sort of taking it down and grinding it to its finer usage. But sorry, I'm rambling. Yeah, that's basically it.
Interesting. Well, I suppose if we run into any pigmen, I'll be sure to see if we can get their weapons. I had no idea it was such a valuable resource here, to be honest.
I mean, it sort of is. I mean, it is become the... How do I put this? It's the de facto currency of this land. It can be used to create, to fortify, to remedy, to heal. There is hardly a purpose in which it can't, or hardly a circumstance in which it can't be used. And though it might have its pros and cons, I think everyone here has come to accept it. I mean, it has become a foundation of living here, after all.
I do have one question.
Sure.
About the cart design.
Sure.
Is it possible to put a bunch of plating on the side of the cart? Because I'm gonna be completely honest, this thing would probably break instantly from like one person hitting it with like a big axe.
That was what I was proposing earlier. I'm not sure if that wasn't clear, and sorry if it wasn't, but I currently, with what materials I have, I could either reinforce your wheels or the exterior hull. Not to say regardless of what you pick for the short term, I can do my best to help you. I will still try to see that this vehicle is more suited into your liking, or at least in a better condition that you once found it.
Alright, let me ask the leader. I'll just walk over towards Uriel. Okay, Mr. Uriel.
Yeah.
I do have a question. If we wanted the armor stuff, that implies that we'll be like there like fighting with like
Yes.
waiting on the cart. If we want the wheels, that means we'll be like having some sort of escape option. Do we plan to fight to death or fight till running?
I think it would be much better to run
Okay, so we should
pretty much
probably do the wheels
always.
then, right?
Or else also, if we have wheels, it's less likely that the wheel's gonna break like last time.
Well, I want to know if I can commit
We
to a full
regularly
fight.
go off road anyway. Being able to do so with less damage to the cart is valuable.
Yeah, I just want to know if
As long
like
as
if
we have a
go to
good
the
frame and
place-
engine.
If we go to the place, I want to know if like this is a fight to death or if it's like half fight, kill the big guy, and then leave.
Mm.
So I will leave the decision up to you, mostly because I have no money, but also because I will leave it up to you.
Right. Well, I'm not sure what everyone else is thinking, but I'm thinking that the most valuable upgrade would probably be the wheels.
Yeah, I agree. After that whole debacle with the wheel falling off last time, getting wheels
Mhm.
set, I'm gonna do that nearly as regularly.
Wheels over defense, honestly.
I agree.
Bit of a strange choice, but it's a
Again,
conundrum.
you start with a good frame and then you build from there. And the frame starts with the wheels.
And that's our choice then.
Okay. I will say, as for payment, how would you propose making it out? We do accept all forms. Most notably, we are a coinless sort of shop. While we would
fuck.
prefer to take your coin, we would prefer any services, goods, or any sort of materials that would sort of forward our business. Like, for example, majority of what our time has been paid in labor is likewise time paid in labor. We've been given opportunities by many of the guardsmen to see that our goods are taken after, make sure they are watched over. Is there anything of that kind you can provide? But we can happy to take coin.
Well, I'm afraid the only type we have really mostly coinage. I mean, we have silver, gold, bit of platinum.
I see. Well, in the event that be the case, I will say, if it's not painfully obvious, coin has less of an important role here, especially now since the curse is more brimming. It would take an abundance of coin far more than reasonable than from what I'm willing to charge you to replace the damage I'm seeing, or at least to remedy it.
What kind of service would you ask? Because I mean, we do plan of going out of the wall, and don't tell anybody, but we're gonna go to Rosewood. Like anything in the line of that work that you need doing.
And we
Anything
are
you
the
can
ones
actually
who
outside
brought
the
that
wall?
shipment of soul iron in. Those weapons were us.
Yes.
Give me a persuasion check. One of you give me a persuasion check.
Never mind. Cool.
Who's
Me
got the
or
who's got the best
I'm
modifier?
pretty good at this.
I'd assume
I
it's
got a
me. Who are
12.
you asking? Who are you asking
What have
for?
you got?
I got a +0.
I have a plus 11 to persuasion.
And throw him with your
I will
intelligence.
say to Carter
Slightly better
or
than
to Uriel, give me a persuasion check. Carter or Uriel.
I'll toss it
With
out then. I got
advantage.
plus 12.
9.
Why it's in that 20 anyways?
Dang! Where'd you get a,
Yeah.
where'd you get a plus 12, bruh? Oh, swashbuckler. Duh.
Expertise.
Swashbuckler. Who am I kidding?
I got the expertise, my guy.
You must
You-
be kidding me.
you'd see she looks at her ledgers and flips through a few pages before she eventually makes a decision. She rubs gingerly her cheek, and you would see her elongated fingernail just sort of flicks at a page. You know, the more I think about it, have been receiving inconsistent findings of soul iron, other than our source in the capital, but even that seems to be drying up. If you could ever find or perhaps locate a new cave or a natural outcropping of soul iron, maybe I might see that this is a matter properly tended to. Though in short order, I suppose coin would be best, you know? And if what you say is true, about bringing the tools, then I largely like to think that part of what we're in business, or part of why we're able to maintain our business, is thanks to people like you. So I think this is worth some. It's. I'll go on a limb for you guys, is what I'm saying. But I can't go any more than that in the future unless I see some sort of payment in return. Some sort of real payment.
Well, we're not ones to go back on a deal. We may be a ragged crew of well, interesting people, but we got you back. I mean, we could put, as you say, we could put a little down payment of gold if that you know, makes it go over a bit smoother for this for the wheels. And then once we come back with a new shipment of soul iron, maybe do a bit more.
Oh, you, sorry, Uriel, you look
Yeah.
like to be the scholarly type. You wouldn't happen
That's right.
to dabble in, the dark arts, would you?
I dabble in just about every art I could get my hands.
A persistent
Yes.
Good. One of the persistent problems I have encountered is with my sort of business is, while we are not necessarily a place to tend for livestock, we find a common problem amongst all those who come to our businesses is their mounts, their beasts of burden always perish. And I don't necessarily dabble in much of magic, but I was wondering if you knew a spell or incantation that might be able to help with this.
For their mount, I know how to create a mount. It'll last a little while.
What I
Let's
need
see.
is something more long-term, something more considerable. And whether I have to make a Patronus or some sort of illusion or summon something from another world, I'll do it. I just need to find a remedy for the time being.
An illusion I have. I can show you. I have Phantom Steed, which I've never been able to use, by the way. Mostly because we have the cart. I got this spell thinking we probably wouldn't have one.
She looks at the spell. Do you have anything more permanent? Anything more long-term? But from the looks of it, it seems like it might sort of fade in a given time. And while that might be good for most customers, I'm sure most would find that to be rather an inconvenience.
Well, it depends on how much you're willing to invest into it. But I do have a spell that could create a permanent one. It's a close-kept secret of mine, though. Quite valuable.
Oh? She gasped.
Yeah, it's a
Pog.
creation of my own. But it would take some convincing for me to part with it, you understand?
I see. Well, in that case, you know, give me a persuasion check or intimidation check of your choosing.
Not intimidating. What the fuck?
Natural one.
I'm good at these. Natural one. I was cursed. I was cursed by
You both said it.
fucking Nick.
That's awesome.
Well, I saw the roll when I said it.
Well, I suppose that's too bad. I mean, if it's as closely as of a secret as you say it is, then I wouldn't want to pry. If it's that valuable, I wouldn't really want to take that from you. I figured you scholarly types know all kinds of magic and spells, and surely that this vehicle is a work of magic, to say the least. You can see she's hesitantly looking around.
It's a work of a few things.
Yeah, in spite of all of that, I will say, yeah, if we can all agree and make a vow that in the event that you can find any sort of soul iron, or you happen to chance upon any large amounts of it, then, well, I hope that, I might be able to procure some from you.
That sounds reasonable.
She looks around.
Would you take food?
No. The amount of food it would take to even make this transaction worth it, I'd feel too bad. And to be fair, all of you are an odd sort. I wouldn't necessarily know if the food in question is palatable.
What about manual labor?
Manual labor we do take. It just, I'm afraid this would take far longer than you would like to afford. Perhaps a few weeks in terms of equal payment for our skill and labor. While it would take us perhaps a few hours, if not days, we know the value of our worth. It's not like I'm irreplaceable. Well, at least that's what my sister would tell me. And she sort of just does a head turn. But yeah.
I mean, I could help with a few things here and there, like you need over the days, but the main like focus I'm going towards is probably like fighting the pigs. I know that can't cover the cart, but if there's anything there that's like metal stuff or valuable stuff that I find there, I can promise you I can give that to you if we find it.
Well, that's where we get the soul iron, isn't it? From the pigs?
Oh yeah, whatever else there.
Yes,
From the
weapons.
Yeah. Well, I say, I mean, we can give you like a down payment as kind of like collateral to be like, you keep this, we'll come back with a good shipment of soul iron from the pigs out there. And once we come back, we can trade you that for more, what you call it?
Like one of them had like
More
a really
services.
big ass blade, like it's taller than me, the blade. I'm pretty tall, so it's a really big blade.
And I know what everyone is thinking. No, we cannot use Uriel as collateral.
Damn it, I was just thinking that. How'd you get that in my head?
I mean, I suggested gold. As much as I do not want to power the gold, we can use some gold as a collateral. We can, as long as you promise that you'll at least do something with the wheels to make sure they're not going to come off halfway during our journey, we can go get some pig iron, or soul iron, sorry, and we can bring it back. We can trade that for either, depending on how much we get, we can trade that for the finish of the service of the wheels, and maybe more, depending on how much we get.
Yeah. If not, I can always like just work and help out.
It will be easier to find soul iron if I could get a sample. Not to take,
Yeah,
I just need to look at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, if worse comes to work, we could just leave ours here and he could just work until his dying breath.
I may not look like it, but I am a nice smithy.
Imagine that's how Potato exits the game.
We just leave him here.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you mean we leave here now?
I do have a handiwork with tools. Do you see my?
What do you guys
not
think
not the
Aurelius is for exactly?
Mainly to be your yes man.
Carrying things.
Mostly.
Yes, but he's also there to be an indefinite source of free labor.
Is he a chair? Oh, okay, that's the
That
wrong one.
too. Whatever you want.
I've been sitting on.
We haven't had to do too much labor apart from him having to be like a golem jack to hold up the car when you repair the wheel.
Well, he's really good at dancing as well.
That's not true. I never taught him.
I just imagine him doing like Wreck-It Ralph dances.
I'm bad. That's good. I'll never be good. That's not bad.
Wait, I came up with way more stuff.
So what did you say, Rolly? We put down some gold as collateral, and we'll bring you back some, well, hopefully quite a bit of soul iron.
Yes. I will like to say, who amongst your group will be honoring this accord? I need to have a private word with them.
I'll do it. I have some interests in soul iron anyway.
I mean, brother, I would suggest that you be the sole proprietor of this, because I mean, you are the most trustworthy one of us all.
Excuse you.
He's literally a priest.
Priests could be bad people too.
I vote Jester.
Dying. I say dying is untrustworthy.
I vote Jester. He seems the most trustworthy.
I've never died.
I'm gonna say this is a deal, and if there's anyone that I know that's best about deals, it'd be Uriel. So I vote Uriel.
I agree with Uriel.
I put vote on Jester.
Don't put my name in it.
Why? You punch honestly. That's honest enough.
I will vouch for Jester's trustworthiness, though.
See, there you go. That's 2 votes already.
That's what you're.
I'm not voting for him. I vote for myself. I'm great.
No, you can't do that.
That's 2 votes for Jester. No, it's not.
So we're voting Jester then?
You know, Jester it is.
Texas 4.
All right. Final
Jester.
I
give
will
Jester some time.
Excuse me. I will say that the participant cannot be simply nominated. Well, I don't mean to inject myself in the way you handle your group disputes, but this person must be willingly be able to enter an accord, a sort of a pact with me per se. Otherwise, I can't really ensure that your word alone is good enough.
Is it like a magic pack? Like, is there magic involved?
Oh, Uriel loves pack.
Yeah, whoa. Hard side eye on Broly, as Aura says this. Actually, hold on. Hard side eye.
Yes and no. I will say there will be an intermediary who will ensure that in the event that someone doesn't necessarily fulfill their end of the bargain, that the necessary reparations be made, and nothing further. I don't know how long you've been here, or how many people you've done business with, but I will say, in these lands, a kind word means very little. It's not nothing, but in a land of cheaters, liars, and people who just want to do what's in their own best interest, there needs to be a balancing agent, a force that, well, monitors this.
Actions speak louder than words. That's what my captain told me.
Then.
And what I propose is I invoke this force, that an accord be struck with your group or a member of your group, so that my word is law and binding, and so be yours. If that's something you're not really into, well, I'm sure there's plenty of others who can help you, or at least with the extent of what you want. But this is what I believe to be best. And she looks at you. And I would like an insight check from you, Partisan, specifically, since you had a side eye there.
Yeah, because this, I don't know about this. All of a sudden, I don't know. I mean, this is probably some like,
just the way Southerners do things.
Yeah, it's probably just the way she does things, but like, still,
it sounds like most people do it this way by the sounds of it.
19.
You know that there is a natural apprehension. You know there's a deep sort of weariness in her soul. She doesn't necessarily like the lengths she's going to. There is a nervousness that eats away and saps away her vitality. And what is replaced is this cold and calculating woman, not in a way to meander or to get over at you, but to protect her own assets, to protect one thing, her time, and to ensure that whatever happens with you is legitimate. The woman seems as she's been vexed before, and you can see that despite her initial warmness to you, she is very, very dead iron on not being crossed again. She's rather not untrustworthy to you, but to generally, well, not just you, but just anyone who does business with her. Or at least to this magnitude, without capital, that she quote unquote values.
You want to put yourself up as collateral for this?
I don't
Ariel,
know.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
I'm
Just
not
let me know if you want
collateral.
to.
She just wants us to promise to do it. I don't think it's a big deal. You guys are making a big deal out of this.
Out of character, I don't know about this, honestly.
Yeah, well, by the sounds of it, you'll be entering in a pact that puts you up as collateral if we don't do it.
And like, let's be fair, out of character, you know how many times we've gotten to an ordeal and then something else comes up and our attention has been drawn literally somewhere else like 2 sessions later? Yeah, I don't know about
yeah,
this.
but it slowly is turning into what B said of we can't put Uriel up as collateral.
Yeah, I don't understand what the big deal is.
You put out Ferrari yourself.
I mean, shake a hand. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
After a moment, if no one else does, you see Kaldar with this new insight. He's like, maybe I should just handle those guys. I think I've got it. I'd be more than happy to, as long as it's fair.
I mean, I have plans for Pig Iron or Soul Iron anyway. You got me doing it now. I can do it. It's not really a big deal for me.
All right, go ahead, and he will gesture. Uriel, do whatever. You'll let him make the decision.
Yep,
By all means.
I'll do it.
Lord Uriel, yes.
All right. I will say, is this vehicle still accessible? Is there any way it can be moved to my shop and be parked over there? As for you, Mr. Uriel, in a bit of time, I will meet with you in the back room, and I will consult the intermediary.
All right.
Do you want to move the cart?
That'll have to be Aurelius.
Yeah, you go talk to them. Well, Hours, you take the car to the workshop.
Okay. Car, straight.
Hey, whoa, careful! You almost hit that kid! It's that kid from yesterday that like pointed at you. Was like, "What's that man doing?"
Oh yeah.
Comes barreling out of fucking hell.
Thomas, whatever it's called.
The rumbling of hell itself.
I have to sing kilometers straight, 10 kilometers.
Our single-handedly invented jaywalking laws in this place just because of his driving.
I'm walking here.
As you make your way towards Rolly's shop, you would realize that there's a few lesser carts since the beginning of your discussion, though interesting enough, you find a few other goblins, though their appearances paint a sour description. You would see a mirrored image, an exact likeness of Rosie or Rolly herself. You would see that though there's slight differences in their physiques, some more toned than others, there is 5 exact copies, exact clones of Rosie working about.
Well, that's unique.
In due time, though, you would see your wagon is parked, you are greeted, and you are promptly shown out. The rest of you can carry out your business as Uriel. You are brought inside to the back room, and there you would see there is a door is open. You would see there is a table. The room is dark. The table is covered with this light cloth. There is a orb in play, and you would see there is the beginning of some circle drawn in chalk underneath you, and a few candles underneath it. And without saying more, I would like an Arcana check.
Sure thing, boss.
Basically, they're gonna fucking mug you.
They can try. 34.
From the beginnings of things, looking at the initial rituals, looking at the schedule drawn on the ground, you are immediately drawn a glimpse of some minor seance, some summoning ritual at foot, but its origin becomes firmly noted as you realize, drawn upon the orb itself, as you would see she puts her hand and wave it, she starts speaking in infernal tongue. There is a light and smell of brimstone in the air.
What's she saying?
As she begins chanting words of power, invoking an infernal magic, and you would see the candle slowly start to light up as she begins channeling a devil to your exact location.
So that's your deal.
Bruh. I knew it was a bad idea. Dude.
Why do you
At
think
least
it's a bad
Uriel
idea?
is having it done, not you.
Yeah, honestly, I'm
Arcana
so glad
list,
for that, Matt.
skeleton head, random wizard people he's probably gonna talk to also, witches,
Oh my
now demon.
gosh. Fuck.
He's experimenting with all the magics.
She's a baddie and she's a witch. Side me.
That's what I said.
All this just for repairing the fucking cart. We gotta get rid of the cart, bro.
I'm doing multiple things, bro. You don't know how many layers I'm on right now. I've got
At this
plans
point-
and plans.
Always one step ahead.
Oh my
ABG, bro. Always be grifting.
Oh my god, bro.
I gotta talk to you later, Jester. Me got ideas.
As she begins chanting Abathrath Kantu Si Thaivo, as she begins saying these words, there is a smoke that fills the air, and she invites you to sit and wait for a few moments. Time passes as you remain idly in your seat before you feel the presence of something foreign. A ghastly apparition approaches the table and begins to make itself seated. You can see that it is largely incorporeal. You would make up a muscular body behind its gaseous nature, the brimming eyes of a fiend ever glaring, a pair of large brimming wings to the side, horns that curl and protrude, much like that of a ram. And you would see she looks towards you, Uriel, as she simply, from her side pocket, takes out a dagger, cuts the palm of her hand, and she winces and she says, "So, I, Rosalina Edgewood, do humbly declare a pact to be made with this man in question. I, one of 7, offer myself and my word to be true until the end of our arrangement." And as she does it, her blood that sort of pours out slowly evaporates and becomes into a bit of a vapor. And you can see it is joined together into this orb.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks towards you and says, "Would you like some help on how to proceed next, or are you familiar with these sort of affairs?"
I've never made a pact before, but it doesn't seem that hard to me. I didn't know you were like that, though. Very impressive.
Pacts are fairly common these days, though I will say to this extent is, well, more uncommon. Largely, like I said, many people in these lands want to protect their assets, and when a show of faith isn't necessarily good enough or a good word, we might consult to those whose words is absolute and they mean exactly what they say.
Yes, I get it. So what would you consider yourself as a caster, that is?
Me? She raises her hands and she sort of scratches her temple. I'm not really much of a caster per se, but as per
Nonsense, you've perfected this ritual. A ritual is still a spell.
I guess that's true. I mean, my originator was perhaps more a caster more than I was. I mean, if it's not fairly obvious outside, I am just but of a copy, a fragment of my original. I am more reserved compared to my other copies, but I like to think we at some point knew what this was. Maybe I did. And she looks towards the ritual. But this is nothing more than procedure. You will find most merchants or any people you do long deals with or longitudinal deals will do a similar thing. I prefer contacting fiends, others angels, others. But pay no mind that.
I can sense my bishop friend having a conniption over the very thought of consulting with a fiend. I'm not so close-minded, though.
Yeah, and he has every right to. I will say that what's at stake here is credibility. You, in essence, will suffer nothing other than a loss of reputation. In the event that you and your group does not fulfill our arrangement, or at least if our arrangement changes slightly and you do not necessarily subscribe to the new terms, I'm sure we could work something out. But failure means your reputation is tarnished. And this doesn't go from just me. It goes for all dealers or all who use fiends or anything else. Think of it this way. This is an example where the knife cuts both ways. It largely is sort of a reputation. Sorry, I might be over-explaining, but she sort of like scratches the back of her head. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yes, that's very, very interesting. But yes, yeah, I'm ready to proceed.
All right. Well, I guess you would say your name, your acknowledgement of our previously stated agreement, and say that you swear upon something you hold with esteemed value. Something that you think is absolute and inconsolable. And if you don't have anything like that, imagine something you would like to procure.
So I am essentially leaving collateral.
Your word is collateral. Yes, your name is part of it. A name, an alias.
But I have to pledge additionally, right?
No. What I have proposed here in terms of our agreement is just you swearing upon your name. And failure will tarnish your name to, as I said, all who use fiends, that is.
Well, then that's the term, correct?
Yes.
Well, then that makes this easy. Yes, I'm ready to proceed.
I will say a bit of blood is required. Specifically when we're dealing with fiends. That's not my preference, but they are extremely effective. And you hear a low rolling groan as the fiend proceeding over this just watches you with exceptional curiosity.
How uncouth. Fine. Bring out a dagger, cut my finger, and I will pledge. I'll say, I, Uriel Strabo, hereby stake my name and reputation on the deal that I have just made with Miss Rosalina Edgewood.
And with it, your blood becomes that of a vapor itself. Your two bloods join and mix and swirl within the orb, until finally there is a slight eruption, a diffusion that fills and hits your face as well as hers. And deep down, you feel a slight rumbling within your chest. You feel some part of you hear a lock. The sides of your temples tense up for a moment. You feel your muscles begin to strain and pinch for a second. It's almost as if you can hear a metallic clasp of a lock before it subsides and fades almost instantaneously. As swiftly as it occurred is as swiftly as it passes.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, you're done. And you would see that she looks at you and she... Well, I feel a lot better now. And she gives you a wide ear-to-ear smile. She sort of kicks her feet from the high chair and she looks towards you. Well, I will get started about the repairs, and if I remember correctly, it's the wheels you would like reinforcements for.
That's correct. We go off-road more often than not, especially in stressful situations.
All right. Well, I do hope that regardless of how you scurry or happen upon it, that you find plentiful amounts of soul iron. I will say, on the short end, me and one of my sisters have sort of scourged the surrounding areas. Other than the swine, which, dare I say, might not give you the best of times, I'm sure there's somewhere within these forests old outcroppings. There used to be old structures that, now that the curse is past and some time has passed since them, maybe croppings of soul iron has manifested. Typically, to put it a long story short, soul iron happens to appear at randomly, though in areas of sorrow seems to be found in abundance. And there are a few areas that might be useful for you. I've never got to check these areas, but perhaps in the future.
The list is very much appreciated.
I will make a mark on the map.
And should I come across a prodigious amount, I'm sure that our deal can be extended further.
Of course. And at that point, I wouldn't involve the need for such fiends. Maybe then just
I'll
your
prove
word
my
up.
word to you.
I'm sure
For
you
sure.
will. So this is
It's a very interesting practice that you have down here.
It is.
You must teach me that ritual, actually, next time I see you.
It could be arranged, but for the time being, do you have a preference to the individuals who might hold the pack? I mean, there's all manner of creatures who can look after the arrangement, though I will say, depending on your personal relationships with them, the more likely they're to carry out and enforce it with astute pleasure. I don't know
which beings are available.
Well, there is, generally speaking, I don't know if you're subscribed to one of the lunar circles, but one of those four, generally speaking, there are fiends, angels, And then there are just creatures of the Crimson Lands. Otherworldly creatures there. It's not really easy to describe those type of creatures, but I'm sure you've interacted with them or seen of them at the very least.
I'm familiar.
Or the simplest option is to invoke the name of bounty hunters. It's not entirely uncommon that a person of an astute reputation, enforcer might come to collect. In a similar manner, a person might be used to be a mediator, but these individuals are typically well, they're kind of scary actually. They mean
that's good. Because between you and me, I really despise creatures that feel like they're or act like that they're above mere humanoids such as ourselves. Angels, devils, not particularly my style. Bounty hunters, well within my means.
Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for. But anyways, we can go see your friends. Let's go.
Yes, go ahead.
And she sees you out front. And I will say, for the sake of our own leisures, I will just say that in terms of deposit and payment, it is pending. And I will ask for you to sign here, here, and here. And she presents you the beginnings of some small contract, certainly less as convoluted as the one you've made earlier, but just for the sake of officials' sake.
Yes, certainly.
All right. Well, and she, with a happy close of a ledger, she concludes the business. Now, in terms of time, me and my sisters will see about a few days from now, at earliest 2, if that's all right. Maybe if we can work at it, maybe a day and a half, but we wouldn't want to short you in a few areas. We want to give you good quality, or at least that's what we'd hope to give you. All right. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, you're free to go about your business. Thank you for doing business, and yeah. And she gives you a slight smile and a slight bow for all of you.
Simply nod with a grin. Remain stoic. Oh, well, all right then. I suppose is everything finished here? So what's the agreement been made that she's going to fix the wheels on the cart alone?
The cart will be repaired. Yes.
What happens if we don't open
And we'll
and
deliver
you explode or what?
No, nothing particularly bad, but we'll do it anyway.
Okay. Certainly. All right. Okay, then let's get going. Uriel, would you care to enlighten me as I start my alchemical journey to figuring out how brewing works?
Yes, I'm going to be testing all the new ingredients I've never worked with. Serve.
Oh, good. Mega XP, here we come.
Where is that poll from earlier?
It's a
My
chat.
money.
I always win, baby.
Get my money.
Where's that poll at? I don't see the poll. Bees, where's that poll?
It's a 71.5 thousand wager to 100 points.
Yeah, I bet it all.
I bet it all.
Put it all on no.
Okay, this is fucking Shark Tale. We bet everything on.
Shark
Bet it
Tale.
all.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Bees, it's your time to shine, Bubby.
It's Oscar. Let's go.
The reason why I say
All of it on lucky day.
Go to predictions, and you'll be able to see. You'll have to choose the outcome.
where's my predictions at? Huh?
Click your channel bits and your channel points. It's
Uh,
alright, I had a hard time looking for it.
Waiting for results.
have to choose.
Manage
you have to-
rewards.
Yeah.
I can't choose it. What the hell?
You can choose that.
Fucking Zach is up to 9 viewers purely because we're all gambling.
Gamble.
Everyone wants to get their points, man. Everyone wants to get their points.
I need it.
So I put in 600. How much do I get back?
600.
You get, yeah, you get
Not enough people voted for like the we get into
Did anybody vote for it? No. No, one person voted 100.
I did so you guys could get some points.
I don't.
This guy was
think-
about
got
to win
you.
big.
Yeah, if we wait guys, can we quick go to Rosewood so I can win fucking
You
7,100.
win 70k, yeah. That's crazy.
He would
Trying
just
to get to that end stream.
And stream.
999 million.
Dude, fucking, it was 100%. We were never gonna get anywhere because like the dialogue, we just get too into the dialogue. We're up to
Guys,
11 people now.
We talk a bunch. When it's a town, average of like, I say it every time I talk with Zargi. Average of 4 sections, like minimum. In
Yeah,
this town or city.
yeah. But my
We're
thing,
not even really in a town. We're in a
Yeah.
like an abandoned castle.
There's like 4 people here.
Did
Yeah.
you see? Do you see like hidden? Do you count as a mod for your own channel?
of course, I would hope so. Boy, I would fucking hope so.
Do you own your own channel, Zaki?
Look, that's not what I thought. Shut up.
Whoa.
If you go to like the mod view,
Angry.
down towards
Thank you.
like one right above like the batch reporting tool. It says on the keyboard, lightning bolt, the fucking chat thing, a circle, a shield.
I'm just gonna stream this real fast. This is what I see.
You get a mod
It's okay,
view.
potato. In downtime, we'll go and explore the castle and find some shit to do. We'll go find some hidden loot.
Mod view? Where the fuck's mod view?
Man.
We'll go in the crypts. We'll find some ducks.
What the heck?
Yeah, we need to take Beast,
Oh, there you
the
go.
duck detector.
Let's see.
Are you sure the track is the correct outcome? Once you the views have chosen will be awarded 75,000. Do not show this again. Complete prediction.
Don't show this again.
I fucking
72
knew it. I fucking knew it.
Whoa! I got my money back. Yeah. I didn't get that much.
I gained like.
Dude, dude, in that 101, the ratio was 1 to 750.
Yeah, you could have YOLO'd it and just gave me the win just for shits and giggles. Just to...
I won 7
All my
points.
points. Hell no, I don't want that shit.
I bet 5,000 and I got 7 back.
I bet it all. I bet
That
fucking
is
63.
that is highway fucking robbery. I'm not gonna lie, that is.
Highway robbery.
Maybe.
Like a fucking.
Well, we all knew except for Matt.
Oh no, we
Well, Matt
assumed-
knew, but he did it anyway.
What a good guy. What a great guy, Matt.
I can have hope in my heart that we sped ran it to Rosewood.
Spit for the
You have too much
road
hope. Go with the game.
somewhere.
Who's trying to convince people to fucking like
The-
bet? I was like, surely we get the Rosewood, right, guys?
Nope.
Let's go! We won 641! Yeah!
All I got, the only message I got from Beast was, "Hey, come bet, come gamble." That's,
Yeah,
that's
so it's
all I got. From...
You know what?
I was like,
think,
"Where on?" I was like, "On Zakistan." It's like, "Yeah." I was just like, "Fucking where?"
I think this is what I'm gonna start doing now. Just like for like you guys, just betting on what happens in the session, like generally what happens.
Bet on red.
Dude,
All
we
in.
need to start betting on like who's gonna talk more, Nick or Mud.
Why don't you
Is
guys
that
talk
even a
more?
question? Is that even
You
a
guys
question?
do
Dumb
it.
character. I talk in random things. It's
I
equipped.
feel like we should. What I thought would be a good idea, right? For like, even just for us, is like start doing little odds. I was trying to think of something that was like more of a 50-50 shot,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing predictions at the very start of like every time we play. Like something.
8 to 20 is a good ratio for it.
As soon as we fucking leave and start
Hey, Nick.
encountering those mosquitoes, you just need to do a count
The
on
more
who's gonna
things
get
change,
bit
Nick,
first.
the more they stay the same. Remember when people used to say that Erica and your character used to fucking talk too much? Like we would be the ones talking always?
Yep.
Nothing has changed.
Now that it's changed that. You know what? That's fine.
I said
It's
nothing.
fine.
Okay.
I commit to the bit.
Don't look towards the bystander. Look at
You know, next time, like next character I play, polar opposite, dead
Like
quiet,
a fucking mute.
just nothing.
In my defense, for this session specifically, we were talking about like we were going to speed run to like trying to get as far to like Rosewood as we can. But then we kept talking and talking. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But like we do this every time where we're like, all right, we need to make some progress, and then
Always
we
do.
talk to the same people.
I mean, to
for,
be fair,
like-
me and Potato weren't there in the alchemy shop.
I mean,
We
my-
still can do the alchemy downtime.
yeah, the downtime and
As
all that
well.
needs to be taken care of. But like some things, like for example, Potato and like his whole thing, I wanted to give him that information at the very least. Like if it's not obvious, Potato, the illusions of potential death with ours. Your soul.
Who would have guessed it?
Your soul, a near is somehow involved. You have an orb in your chest. You're Gale from fucking Baldur's Gate.
If that was true, I'm taking the pigs down with me.
Yeah.
We just push him into the center of Rosewood and let him
He goes,
explode.
I am Alris.
Yeah, you gotta.
I mean, to
streak
be
of
fair, with ours, it'll be
divine-
like, I go boom now, boom.
You have a divine orb in your chest, replacing your soul, brother. Your soul.
My soul. That's how I die.
Soul's overrated.
You don't need a soul. You got whatever this is.
You see, Alris blows up and
Nick cut out.
Yo, this guy's not real, by the way.
He's just wheezing.
no, you didn't hear
Breathe,
it.
brother, breathe.
Well, they Lego noise.
Like okay, like it was funny, but it wasn't like.
Jesus,
it wasn't that-
Nick, it was not. Jesus,
Nick
it was
humor,
not
what do you
that
mean?
funny. Nick, it was not that funny. Nick, I'm gonna be
That's
honest.
Nick
It was.
humor.
It was not that funny.
Nick's spooky.
All right. All right.
Oh yeah. So bees.
Oh,